strong.
Ho, ho, ho. Welcome into Roster the People. Week 15. I'm Neil Smith, and it's Santa. Santa's here.
You're welcome.
There he is.
It's a different look. We're not used to this.
It's not Halloween anymore.
I'm not in the dungeon. It's now snowed. I have windows back.
No, it looks nice. Welcome in, everybody. Sorry for the little bit of a late start today. It's been a crazy day, but if you're still watching this, congratulations on making the playoffs, because I assume that's why you're here. So, all right, so here it is. It is the first week of the playoffs. It is a new slate of games. It is a much better slate of games than what we got last week, at least on paper. Jason was right. Nobody watched that Monday night game. Don't watch that. It was terrible. Two Monday night games this week, as one does. So
also going to be terrible. Well, one of them's going to be okay.
One of them will be all right.
The
so there you
Simpson
go. The what now?
The Simpson cast.
Yes, the Simpson cast. So yeah, so we're here going to help everybody set their lineups. And so far we're just waiting for everybody to kind of file in. So, Jason, anything special about this slate of games you want to talk about while we wait for people to post their questions?
I'm really just feeling like it's going to be really lopsided. There's a couple games that you really want to buy into. I think one of them is going to actually be Dallas versus the Panthers. I think that's one game that you can kind of get in on all the pieces there. But when you're actually looking at it, these games, like I was doing my rankings for the defenses, and like the top 5 are just going to crush. Like the Ravens.
I spent a lot of fab on the Ravens this week.
Yeah. Ravens, Broncos, Falcons, Vikings, Commanders.
Yeah, there's definitely some good ones in there. What do you think about the Chiefs?
I have them lower than everybody else. Mostly because I think that this is going to be more of a track race. Like they're just going to be racing to see who can score the most points. And I'm worried the Chiefs might actually lose this one because Winston's going to sling it.
Yeah, I think it's the turnovers that makes it attractive, though. There should be many, many, many turnovers in that game, so I'm not afraid of it. Because
Well,
even
I
if
thought
they
there'd
do
be
score, there'll be plenty of turnovers.
I had one. I think it was just one interception set up for the bet on the Chiefs-Chargers game, and nobody threw one. And I'm like, this is some bull.
Well, that's the Chiefs-Chargers game. I'm not talking about the Chiefs-Chargers game. I'm talking about a different game.
I know, but not a single interception. What the heck?
Well, that's because you bet on it. That's why. There's a pro tip. Whatever Jason bets on, you bet on the opposite thing.
Yeah.
That's pro tip from years of seeing how this works. If Jason's betting on it, you bet on the opposite thing. Jason should post his picks every week so that people could just have a handy cheat sheet. All right, so pick 2.
That's a fun list.
I think some of it's going to get eliminated from consideration.
Yeah, because Hall is iffy.
Yeah, don't like the injury updates on Hall this week. He's probably not playing.
Well, I'm kind of thinking they're starting to say, hey, you're kind of the future.
Well, if he was fully healthy, I think they'd continue to run him out there. But the fact that he has a knee injury, and if it's even questionable about his knee, I think they're getting to that point that you're talking about where it's like, the knee probably could play, but why?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the problem. This is why we talk about having handcuffs, because there's a very real chance that he's not playing, whatever the reason.
And then Walker, Charbonnet here.
Yeah, Walker, we don't know. You're gonna have to wait on that because we're not gonna have proper practice reports on that for a while.
That would be very attractive to play again because that
if Walker was deactivated, I would definitely be playing Charbonnet. I'd play probably Charbonnet and either Myers or DK, I guess, because I don't see how you could play Jaden Reed again after what he just did to you. So there's no chance you're going to do that. Keenan Allen is like, don't even know if he's going to play.
Playing the Vikings.
Yeah, I don't know. So really, like, what's attractive on this list? It's like this is like the injury report list.
Except for Myers. Myers is good. He just
Myers is okay.
Has a cute quarterback issue.
Myers is attractive because of the matchup that he gets to play in. Because the Falcons secondary is terrible. So normally I'd say, well, his quarterback's bad. And it's like it doesn't matter. Well, doesn't matter because whatever it is, the Falcons secondary is worse.
Oh, it's Desmond Ridder. Sorry, Desmond Ridder.
We don't know that. They're saying that that's likely the case, but we don't know yet. So it doesn't matter. It makes no difference. It could be you against the Falcons secondary, and I'd be like, it could be like because that secondary is pathetic. So it makes no difference who his quarterback is in this case because of how good the matchup is. So it's right now. I'd probably, if I had to start the lineup today, I'd probably just play Myers and DK and just be done with it. But you're gonna have to watch the injury reports, Glitchy. There's no way I can answer this question on a Wednesday.
Yeah, because then it's gonna be Charbonnet. Like Charbonnet's
right.
Though the thing, if Walker is out, he is going over DK for me.
Right. So I'd probably play Charbonnet over DK myself, but I wouldn't do that because with Walker playing.
Yeah.
So it's not nearly as attractive. So you got to wait. You got to see if Hall gets ruled out, and you got to see what the story is with Walker getting ruled out. Beyond that, all right. Daniel's here. Welcome, Daniel. Xavier's here. 16-17 defense.
All right. We did this one last week, right?
Yeah, more or less.
So Colts and Jags both are pretty good. The only issue is both of their defenses are not.
In all honesty, I would probably just play the Vikings. The choices are Colt. Do you want Colts, Jags, Cincinnati, or the Vikings? These are your choices.
Yeah. If it's just that, I'm probably going to go Vikings. I just hate the matchup in week 17.
Yeah, but we can deal with that later. I don't want to play the Colts. I don't trust it. Sure, they have good matchups. Their defense is terrible. Cincinnati's defense is one of the worst defenses in the league. So you're playing with real fire there, even though, and especially because that would be Cleveland.
Who they're playing, yeah.
Cleveland,
and
I don't even care. I'm not entertaining this week 16 and 17 crap.
Okay.
I know that's his question. I refuse the question. I will look at week 16 for you and tell you, but in all likelihood, you're not going to find some silver bullet situation that you're going to find two things. If that's your answer, then I tell you to keep the Vikings and just play the best defense that you have. Because your question ultimately can be boiled down to, do you want to play a good defense that has mediocre matchups, or do you want to play three of the worst defenses in the NFL? And I'm going to tell you my answer to that typically reverts to, I'm just going to go ahead and play the good defense in the less good matchup more often than not.
Yeah.
And you're also asking me to predict injuries. Any one of these defenses could go out and lose half their secondary this week, and then it will change my answer. So I really am not playing that game. I don't like that game. I'm not going to play it. So, because then you're going to come back to me and be like, you told me to do this. And I'm going to be like, I gave you like 5 asterisks on that. Let's cut to the footage. So I've learned, Jason, that we don't answer this question this way.
Because the real answer for me would actually be the Raiders.
Okay, you're an insane person, but go ahead. Explain why.
They play the Jaguars and the Saints. at both points, these teams are all going to be eliminated. And I really just think that they're going to be low scoring games. So you won't have to worry about any of it.
Hello? Yes. Yes. Wichita, Kansas, please. Yes, I'd like to report a person in dire mental distress that needs a home visit. Okay. Okay. All right. 1 hour? Good. Good. Okay. All right. Love you too. Don't go anywhere. Just stay where you are. Just stay where you are. I'm not. Just don't worry about it. Some very nice people will. Some very nice people will be coming to check on you. So there you go. There you go.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only one that I'm really gonna believe in. I mean, if Ritter's going to be the quarterback because AOC's out, I guess I'd go Jags.
But I don't think we're going to use AOC as the approved nickname for Aiden O'Connell.
Oh.
I'll let you figure out why I'm saying that to you.
In this space, a lot of people are. It's AOC. Yes, I get it all the time.
I don't care.
Okay.
People are wrong about all kinds of things. Like, I'd rather you call him the Irishman. Like, I would be better with that. Yeah, we're not doing that. Play the Vikings and then check back next week. There's no universe where you're going to convince me that starting the Falcons defense is ever a good idea. So I will just play the Commanders.
If Ritter goes, it's the Falcons for me.
They can't get there soon enough.
Yeah.
Can't get there soon enough. Oh, Lord. Let me see this.
But yeah, I have
no.
Currently, I have
11.
No.
I have the Commanders at 6. So
3 and 5. Assuming that's because I think Ritter's going to be the one who's playing.
So we're gonna so it's Jake Hayner on the other side as your best case scenario, because I've seen what Rattler looks like and it's not better.
Yeah.
So I'd much rather play the Commanders defense, which isn't really good, but is better than what you're talking about.
They haven't ruled out Carr yet. Again, we're in the same boat with both teams.
You're out of your mind. Carr has a broken hand and is in the concussion protocol, and he's going on IR. They've said he's going on IR all week.
I don't think so.
I will send you to the penalty box. Like, I will end this show. Like, go ahead, look it up.
I'm working.
I'll wait. I'll make everyone here wait for the bus with me. While he looks that up, I will deal with this.
Well, Neil's gone.
That was really weird. No, my internet's been being weird all day. I've already been on the phone with Comcast once today, so I wouldn't be surprised if it just shuts off. And if it does, ladies and gentlemen, know that I love you, but I'm not coming back. I'm going to bed. And I'll see you next week. And Jason will get you the rest of the way. But I'm literally going to throttle him in about 2 seconds because he refuses to listen to me when I tell him that all day, go to our Discord, go to the 32 Beat Writers feed, and just scroll up.
Belichick.
This is what I have to work with.
Well, I literally typed it in, and nothing's popping up. That's why I'm...
All right, try the Twitter news feed then, because it's literally in there. That's where I've got this information from. Derek Carr's hand is broken. It's his non-throwing hand, and he's still in the concussion protocol, and they're putting him on IR.
He will not go on IR.
It doesn't matter. He's not
So
playing this
he
game.
is in concussion protocol though.
He's not playing this game.
Dealing with
not happening.
swelling in his hand.
It's not happening. He's not playing. Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen. They're literally holding a quarterback competition.
Wrong one. All right. Yeah, so if you're grabbing 2, you're going to stick with the Vikings.
I had to leave before I said a series of words I'm not allowed to say.
And then you're probably going to get the Jags. If you're just going to hold somebody else. If you have a free slot, I'd grab the Jags for the week against the Titans again.
Sure. If that's what you want and you literally have an open roster spot and you just want to grab something and it's not going to like cost you fab, sure. Follow Steve's advice. Do the Steve plan and just start anyone against the Titans. That way you have something in your back pocket. Non-PPR, Mooney or White?
We're kind of in the same boat again, though, because we're not sure on Irving.
I don't think Bucky Irving's playing this game. That I'm less confident about than the whole Derek Carr thing. But Bucky Irving, back
really
injury. Yeah, back injury. Don't like it. But I agree, Jason. I think we have to answer this question with a caveat, which is if Bucky Irving's not playing, then I think it's White, right?
Yeah,
pretty comfortably, and then any other situation you probably just play Mooney.
Yeah, I mean,
even then, I don't love playing Mooney with the way that team has been operating and how bad they look, just in general.
Well, it's also I'm more worried about White just because of the Chargers. So, but if he has a full job, he's going to have the checkdowns to help boost those additional numbers. To get
Yeah. As we were, that was one of the things we were correct about last week was sit all the Chiefs running backs against the Chargers, because in reality, that's like the thing the Chargers do the best is limit the run game, and that was on full display again. So you're not crazy. It's just
gotta hope they fall into the end zone.
Yeah, or catches enough dump offs to matter.
Yeah, and that's kind of how that would work without Irving there.
I agree with that, especially because I know Mooney's matchup is very attractive, but they've been terrible, and it should be a get right game for them.
I mean, he looked decent last week.
Who?
Mooney?
Oh, Mooney is not the issue. It's the person throwing Mooney the football. That is the issue. Is he going to go fully in the tank? Thielen on the bench. Would you rather play Thielen than any of those other names?
Yes. Both of them, actually.
I'd rather play Thielen over Mooney, but I'd probably play White.
Assuming Irving's out.
Irving was out still. If Irving wasn't out, then I probably would play Thielen over Mooney because it's the Dallas secondary. So that should be okay. Thielen's looked good the last 2 weeks. He's got that old man strength. So that should be good. All right.
Picked up. Okay.
I mean, this is all injury report related too. I think we're going to be doing a lot of this week because there's a lot of injury report watching this week in various spots, and I think that's what people are going to have questions on. Unfortunately, it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
So Kenneth Walker,
you should know about Garendo tomorrow.
Yeah, we should know about Garendo tomorrow. Right now, they've got him listed as limited. Don't love it.
Questionable for the game.
Oh, sorry. Yes. He was limited today. They're listing him as questionable for tomorrow. Don't love it.
But if he has a job,
well, that's the thing. I think you're going to play a Seahawks running back.
Yeah.
The question is which one, and that decision is going to handle itself.
Yeah.
And honestly, it might be Charbonnet either way. Because Kenneth Walker has not been good the last couple weeks, and now we might know why if he's that gimpy.
Well, like I said, that offense looks so much better with Charbonnet in it.
Well, that's all right. It's it definitely looked less constipated, but I'm not going to go off one game, as you know. It's one game. Weird things happen. And then Charbonnet, as we know, there's a reason that they won't let Charbonnet have the full job because they have tried this on multiple occasions, and it always ends with Charbonnet on IR. So Charbonnet is not really historically proven to be cut out to be an every down back. He can do it on a limited basis, and then immediately it takes the rest of the season off to go have surgery.
Yeah.
So
the answer is Seahawks running back.
Yeah, it's Seahawks running back, and then I hesitate because
Do
there's
you
a
play
lot
Garendo if he goes?
No, I'm probably gonna pass on Garendo for some
Then
of
who
the
are the
other
other two?
options. I would probably. I'm seriously considering Isaiah Davis.
Assuming Hall's out.
Assuming Hall is out, because I think that's the way the news is going to go on that. Because I just don't see. I don't think they're literally lying on the injury report. I think he does have a knee injury. But I think where we are is one of those decisions about how hurt is hurt. You know what I mean? Like, if they had something to play for, I bet he'd be out there. But since they don't really have anything to play for, I think they're going to just be like, your knee's hurt. Go home. Well, like, we'll see you later. Like, it's fine. So I think that's the way it's going to go. So I'm interested in Davis because I think they want to give Davis. He looked good last week, and I think they want to give him another look. So I think he'll split the job with Allen. But if he looks anything remotely like what he did last week, that looks pretty good. And then the other one is kind of a mess. And this is actually a really good question because this is like grab bag level. I hate this, Chad. I'm sorry because it's for your playoff game, but this is like a grab bag.
Yeah.
So I'd probably play Davis, and then after that, it gets hard. It gets real hard. Probably not going to play Tucker.
Nope.
I might play Sincere, but that feels like the definition of playing with fire. The problem is that I'm kind of convinced that there's no Chiefs running back you can play. What we've learned here is that if the Chiefs running back is one guy, it's incredibly valuable. But if it's two people, none of them have any value because they just cannibalize each other and then no one gets anything. So at that point, I'd say we probably are going to roll out Tucker.
Not Taylor?
I don't like Taylor. I don't really
want
to play
I guess
Taylor.
The question is, do you think that's Jonathan Taylor or do you think it's
Patrick? I don't. If it's Jonathan Taylor, then you're probably going to hold your nose and play Jonathan Taylor. I was thinking it was the other Taylor.
Patrick. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was Patrick Taylor, and I was like, bro, I don't even want Garendo. I don't even want Garendo, and Garendo is the one with the job. So I'm assuming he means Patrick Taylor because he said picked up.
Well, I couldn't tell if that was all three of them or whatever the last half.
I don't know. It's a little unclear.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, just in case, I'm going to say if it's Jonathan Taylor.
Well, we agree you're going to play a Seahawks running back, and you're just going to wait and see on that which one it is. So who's your other two?
I would actually play Garendo.
You're going to play Garendo. Okay.
If he goes, I'm playing Garendo.
All right.
And then from there,
it's not that crazy given the other options. I just would point out the idea that he's genuinely already hurt. And if anything even slightly bad happens, he's done. Because they're not playing for anything here.
And on that same kind of note, I wouldn't play Taylor because if it is Patrick Taylor, I actually think that the winner finally becomes Debo.
Well, maybe, but this is what I'm saying. I want to avoid the whole list of San Francisco things I will play. This is faster. George Kittle and Jennings.
Yeah.
List over.
Purdy.
Maybe. I'd have to see what your other options are. I don't know about that. It's a good matchup on paper for Purdy. What are my other choices? Maybe Purdy, but I'd play Kittle and I'd play Jennings and maybe I'd play Purdy. But I'm not really interested in any of the rest of it. Debo is a ghost.
Unless he's if Gurendo's out, I really think he gets a nod and will.
But we won't know that until tomorrow like right before the game. So
I understand that.
Right now I'm of the mind that I don't want to play any.
Ooh, Tillman.
Yeah, I'd rather some of your other options here, I think.
I would get Tillman. I would drop
Tillman is practicing again.
Yep.
That's attractive.
It might not even be for this week. It might just be for if you win this week. Like
right now,
I'd much rather roster him.
I can tell you, I would be all right with rostering him. I tell you right now that with the list as it is, I'd say you're going to play Seahawks RB. I want to avoid all the San Francisco running back crap. And that's why I gravitate to Davis. And then we wait and see if we're playing Tucker. But I don't like the matchup for Tucker, as you kind of laid out. Like normally it'd be Tucker fairly easily, but I hate the matchup.
Yeah. And
that's why I'm looking at Sincere, because it's like Sincere's going to have the job. Yeah, Sincere's going to get volume. And that's why I'm like, well, then I'd probably play Isaiah Davis and Sincere, because those are people that I feel confident are going to get 15 touches. And the rest of it, I'm not confident at all is going to get 15 touches. And we're talking about running backs. But then you layer on this. Okay, that changes my answer a little bit, because I probably would pick up Tillman at a minimum. I could probably be talking to picking up both of them, given your other options, because what exactly am I holding on to?
I'd probably drop Tucker for
Coleman. Yeah, what do I really need Tucker for? Like, I assume it's single elimination playoffs. If I lose, what do I care?
Yeah.
Like, it's like you could probably talk me into cutting Tucker. And then honestly, I'd probably cut Patrick Taylor.
Correct.
Because what do I need him for?
But Tillman is, the thing is, if he plays this week, he's getting you 10.
You should, as long as he doesn't get another concussion.
Yeah. As long as it's not another injury, Tillman will get you at least 10 fantasy.
He should be getting, I'd say at 8 is more where I'm confident in, but like.
Well, I guess I just assume it's PPR, and 8 just seems low for him. I think that Judy is going to clear out enough space. It's the Chiefs, right? Yeah. So,
whose secondary is similar to your team, except less extreme. Their ability to stop the run is really good, but their secondary is hurt. Everyone who plays secondary for the Chiefs is hurt right now, and that's not going to change.
And you're welcome.
So you got that going for you. So
Donald Chase, Jennings, Richard, Vikes.
Oh,
that's who he's starting, I'm guessing.
That's like what the rest of his team is.
So,
and I agree. You're playing all of that. You're going to play Darnold. Yeah. At this point, I don't see how you couldn't. And he's got McBride. So you got a real stars and scrubs thing going on here. And I'm not considering Darnold a star, by the way. But you have Chase, and then you have like yeah. I mean, I like the rest of that, and then you got McBride. Like, that's all fine. It's the rest of your team that gets questionable. But yeah, it's Seahawks running back. I will tell you, Jason might tell you different, but I will tell you, I'm avoiding the whole San Francisco running back situation. And in fact, I'm probably willing to just cut Taylor to pick up either of the two wide receivers. And then honestly, I could pretty easily be justify cutting Tucker to pick up the other one. Because if I'm not playing him, I don't care.
Yeah.
You're all 1 week rentals to me now, boys. Like, that's where we are. Because if I lose, I don't care anyway. So that's where we're at. I really don't want to hinge my playoffs on the 49ers picking a running back. Historically, that does not go well. I don't want that. And normally, like, this would be easy. You would just play Pacheco. But with Pacheco sharing that job with Hunt, I can't play either of them, which leads me to do something that I probably would normally not do, and play Isaiah Davis just because I think he's going to have the job, at least enough of it to matter. And then it's the same thing with Sincere. And the one thing about this is we always say don't listen to coaches because coaches have no incentive to tell you the truth, and they never do. The exception to that is Antonio Pierce, who has proven that he will just straight up tell you what his thoughts are and then do it. And he's already said that Sincere has earned that starting job. And they're going to give him another crack at it this week.
And Madison will be the backup.
And Madison will be the backup. He literally said those words. And normally I'm like, okay, well, then I just ignore you because that has nothing. But with Pierce, I've learned that he's serious. And for whatever reason, he will just tell you what he's about to do. I don't know why. But that's where I'm like, okay, so I'm more inclined to look at those two options. But honestly, I'd rather pick up the 2 wide receivers just to have them. And let's just see who gets cleared. Because none of those players are playing tomorrow. So I don't have to worry about this problem anymore.
And at that point, you're able to also drop. You're fine dropping Taylor and Tucker and whoever plays then.
Yeah, exactly.
Sharp and whoever plays.
We're just waiting for injury reports.
Whoever is the starter.
Right. We're waiting for injury reports. And Chad, I know you show up on Sunday. Ask us on Sunday. We'll have proper injury reports for you that we can believe in. So there you go. All right.
Yes. When you flex Hall. No,
it's Hall or Jets running back.
Yeah.
Stevenson, Harrison, Ridley, or Devonta Smith.
It is. I don't know if it's Ridley or Smith. I think it's still going to be Ridley.
I'm probably playing Ridley off that list.
I think now with the complaints of Brown, I expect him to. Hey, here's a bunch of targets.
I think
all the targets.
I agree. I think Baby get bottle. I think Baby get bottle in a big way. For sure. I think Baby literally they're gonna wrap him up and swaddle him and then give Baby Baba and then rock him to sleep just so he's not a malcontent for the playoffs. And I think that's what we're gonna do. So it's that type of deal. Yeah, so I kind of want to stay away from that. And yeah, I don't really. If I could avoid the Jets running back situation, Daniel, then I would. Because I don't know. I don't have any confidence in this. Because even if Hall plays, they're going to have him on an incredibly short leash. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Stevenson is attractive, but the Patriots aren't. And then Harrison is literally the mystery box. It could be anything. Could even be a fantasy playoff victory. Or you could literally get sent home because of it. Whereas Ridley, I think, is the right mix of like something I could trust with enough upside to make it attractive.
The only thing is like quarterbacks against the Patriots have done so well.
I know. Oh, I know.
It's just
I'm aware.
I could just so easily see them just screwing this up.
I know. But I gotta go
like
with
a
it.
12.
I know. You're playing with fire. It's stupid. It's not fun, but this is where we are. I think that's this is the time of year when I talk about like the idea of being able to look yourself in the mirror afterwards, and that's important to be able to live with yourself. And I think the Ridley one is at least a decision that you can live with.
Yeah.
Even if it flames out, it was based in logic, and it was based on reason. Gosh darn it. And it's like, it's not some sort of off the wall wonky BS that I'm going to look at later and be like, I just cost myself several $100s more than likely because I'm dumb. Good work. Nice to confirm that every year.
Yeah.
So I would just probably play Ridley because that's the decision that I could live with. Daniels, Knicks, Darnold.
Still Daniels.
Herbert's available.
Herbert's interesting, but again, It's the same thing with Darnold. You're chasing the upside there.
No, don't get cute with this. I would play Daniels. My second choice would be Darnold.
Oh, it is. Huh. I have Knicks and then Darnold.
Darnold gets the nod because I know it's a division game, which works against him, but it's on Monday Night Football. And that does matter because he gets the extra day to nurse the foot.
It's also the Bears.
Yes, and the Bears have completed their mission of playing intentionally badly to get their coach fired. And now we're just going to do that moving forward.
Yeah, they
play bad until the end of the year.
Play bad now to get a better pick.
Yep, and that's kind of where we are. Would you stash Tillman or McLaughlin?
Tillman,
I agree.
I do not trust a Broncos running back.
Nope.
Especially
forward. Because I think there's
in the playoffs.
I think there's we said stash.
Oh, okay.
So I take that to mean maybe next year. Doesn't change my answer. Okay. Because I think in reality, the Broncos are going to draft a guy. They drafted Estime, but they're not committed to that. That was a late round pick. I think there's a real chance that after you've seen now what Knicks looks like, I'm expecting the Broncos to go full aggresso mode. We're going to get stupid, baby. We got a little bit of cap space opening up here next year. Young quarterback. This is the formula. Young quarterback on a rookie deal. You get a check, and you get a check, and you get a check. The Broncos, I think, are literally going to go out and sign a bunch of offensive line help. And their offensive line isn't terrible, but it's not great. So they're going to shore that up one way or the other, probably because that's usually how you do that now. And then I think that's going to make it so that they might just draft a guy. Because they still have draft picks for next year. So I think they literally might be in the running back draft market. Because Javonte is not coming back. I don't see a universe where Javonte is still with that team. And McLaughlin is a nice player, but he's not the answer to what they want to do. I could also see a situation where maybe it works the other way and they draft a bunch of linemen and they go out and pay a buttload for some sort of good running back. Several are available. Yeah. Didn't Alvin Kamara just sign an extension? Is that off the table? That would be the easy layup.
Would it though? Because his yards per carry isn't great, but his yards per catch.
I wouldn't want them to do that. I hope they wouldn't do that. I think that would be stupid.
The real answer would be the one that I want for
Taysom Hill. Would it be Taysom Hill?
No,
would the answer be? I've already made my peace with that idea that is 100% happening. You could chisel that into granite. If
tight end.
If someone will give you futures, some Vegas outlet will give you futures on whether or not Taysom Hill will be a Bronco in 2025. I would very seriously consider that bet. Very seriously consider that bet. That's a real. This is not financial advice. This is from a guy who's in a basement. Okay, but this is not financial advice at all. So don't construe it as such. But I'm just telling you, if someone was willing to give me that bet, I'd be like, well, what are the odds? What are you laying? I think, is it 1-1? It might be what it is. So it's that's the kind of situation there. I would rather stash Tillman though, because Tillman still has 2 years left on his rookie deal, and they, I think, are gonna give him a long look next year as the wide receiver 2 for that team. They drafted him for a reason. So if it's a stash for like a keeper league, that's who I would rather hold on to. Just my 2 cents. Yes, that is this week, Chad. It's injury report, running back by committee week, just in time for the fantasy playoffs.
So those people who paid up for Barkley and Henry and...
Okay, I'm putting this question away real quick. So we talk about this a lot, right? About like people only remember the last thing they saw, and that impacts how the rankings get done every year. Like this year was super wide receiver heavy because the year prior, the people that had the wide receivers that didn't get hurt, so then everybody pushed the wide receivers up their rankings. Let me explain to you what next year is going to be. Next year is going to be my rankings. The old man rankings are coming back, where it's all the blue chip running backs at the top, baby. It's like 2010. It never left. We're right back where we started, baby. I can't wait. We're gonna do running back. I don't even have to edit my rankings. We're just gonna put them up. Rankings for the site are my rankings now. It's old man style. So that's literally what's going to happen. Saquon will be the 1 of 1 next year. Book it. The 1.1 is Saquon next year. Book it. The only way that doesn't happen is injury.
Yeah.
If anyone is willing to take that bet, I have plenty of money. Let's go. Saquon will be the universally agreed upon 1.1. Fight me. You won't. It's because you know I'm right. Who else would it be? I'll wait. Yeah, that's what I thought. Ain't nobody got no comeback to that. So yeah, next year, that top 10, 5 running backs at least in the top 10. Might be 10. Might be straight up 10 running backs.
No, because I think Chase is still going to go top.
Oh yeah, okay, you're right. Chase will be in the top 3. Chase will definitely. He'll probably be 2. Chase will likely be in the top 3 for just about every outlet. You're correct.
Because his games this year are
no. Chase is going to win some numbers. Chase is going to win people championships. When we do the end of year wrap up, the thing that you'll see is that like the players that are on the championship teams, it's probably going to be Chase and Saquon. Like that's likely how this is going to go. So
and Jaden Daniels,
possibly.
I bet you that's going to be another one that's way up there.
Could be Darnold. Darnold might be the one for season long, where it's like underrated. Like Darnold was like completely off everyone's radar, and then including mine. By the way, I'm not trying to sit here and claim like I do that.
It's also because everybody thought that JJ was going. I mean,
well, it's also because Sam Darnold is playing so far and above his weight class that it's crazy. So it's one of those.
That contract next year.
Yeah, you just better hope it's
play for the Browns.
Yeah, that's going to be the problem. That's going to be your problem right there. And then he's going to regress so hard that people are going to be like, what happened? And it's like, well, it turns out there's this guy named Justin Jefferson. And there's this other guy named Kevin O'Connell. And it turns out that those two people kind of know what they're doing. And they can kind of like wallpaper over a lot of problems for you. Whereas the Browns, it's not really the same thing. So you got that going for you. That's right, Daniel. That's right. We draft running back in this house. This is a running back in the first round household. Get off my lawn.
You know, we've done. That's how we've always. I feel like we've always drafted a running back in the first round.
Yeah, we don't really, as a society,
hero. It's always hero RB for me.
Yeah, we don't change.
Then we decide.
We don't change to go with your newfangled running back 0 RB shenanigans. That's not a thing, by the way. And then we don't do the whole wide receiver crap. No. You can get wide receiver. It's fine. It's a deep position. You can figure it out.
Anywhere you want.
You can't replace the quality running backs. But I know some people are going to say, but Christian McCaffrey killed my season. And I'm going to be like, I could cherry pick examples too. Ooh, we got dangerously close to having to go to the penalty box right there. We got so close. We got so close to the penalty box on that one. I got halfway into it. No, Daniel, I'll do running back, wide receiver. I'll do that. But what I'm saying is you got to get a quality running back because you can't fix that problem. It's too hard. It's just too difficult.
Yeah,
so,
for example, in the top 10, there are Jamar Chase is above Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry. The rest are all quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And overall scoring.
And I literally think that you just kind of listed the top 3 for just about every outlet next year.
Yeah.
It's going to be Saquon, Jamar Chase, Derrick Henry. Like something like that. Some outlets may have Jamar Chase at 1. They're wrong. But the logic there might be, but that's also going to come down to T. Higgins. Is he still on the team?
That's where people are going to forget that Higgins is really a good reason that Jamar Chase gets open.
Higgins also missed a lot of this year, so you have some of that weighing into people's analysis. I can tell you for next year, realistically, I will have Saquon at 1. I will have Derrick Henry at 2. And then we will probably have Jamar Chase at 3, depending on where T. Higgins goes. And then and what they do to their defense. No. You know I'm not doing that. I love T. Higgins, but not like that.
Not if he goes to the Chargers, you won't like that?
No. Because they're only going to throw the ball 20 times a game because of your coach.
And it's all going to be Higgins and McConkey. You'll be fine. He's
That's
going to put
enough. Not enough.
He's going to have 10 receptions for 180 yards every
in
game.
some fantasy land where they complete all 20 passes they actually throw. Sure, but okay, it's not going to happen. Thank you for indulging that little aside. Ravens or Broncos?
Ravens. Number 1 defense on the week.
Number 1 defense on the week by a country bit. The only way it could be higher is if we invent new numbers. And also if Drew Lock was playing again. But we're not doing that. It's the return. And by the way, did you see him doing this at his press conference? My favorite thing. So good.
The defense actually might be higher than some. Well, it's going to be almost the top 36 wide receiver.
I spent $40 in fab budget on the Ravens this week. I'm not even kidding.
For good reason.
I had $95 in fab left for 3 weeks, but I'm the 4 seed, and I was like, I don't care. Here's $40. You want to know what's fun about that? No one else bid. And I was like, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Like, that's the way. Sorry, I had to do it. Like, does it suck that I could have spent $1? Sure. Doesn't matter. Like, I spent $40 on that, and I no regrets. No regrets. Evans, Sutton, Jennings. One of them sits in half point.
Evans sits.
Yeah, that hurts my soul, but I agree with you.
He
just doesn't look
volume.
right. He doesn't.
Well, the volume for them, and he's likely going to be dealing with.
He's just going to be limping the rest of the year, I think, is the problem. He needs the offseason to go away and get healthy. I don't want people to think like, oh, they're saying Evans is what? No. We don't do that here. I've already said a million times, Evans is one of those guys that I'm going to be really wrong on at some point one year because I refuse to lower him until he just flames out and hits the wall. It's the same logic I have with Derrick Henry, where it's like there's just going to be 1 year where I'm horribly wrong, but since I can't predict it, it's just going to happen. And I've made my peace with this. That's just how it is. Henry, but only other RBs are Charbonnet, Allen, Taylor, Bigsby, McCormick, Vidal. You'd have to cut. Taylor. I mean, you could just drop Taylor over any of that. I'm not cutting Mooney because I might use that at some point. I'm not cutting Myers because I might use that at some point. I'm not cutting Reed because that would still be my break glass in case of emergency because of the upside.
And you're probably not sitting.
And then Shakir. I could see a universe where I would play Shakir. I might even be playing him anyway.
He's probably my guaranteed starter from what I see on that team.
I would cut Taylor because there's like no universe where I'm going to play Taylor.
Nope.
Based on that, I'm probably playing Charbonnet one way or the other.
And then I'm probably picking him.
And you're going to probably play Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just cut Henry. Yeah, that's fine. Taylor for McCormick is fine. Because I don't want to play him on Thursday night, Daniel.
And
honestly, the only thing I want to play in this Thursday night game, Kyron Williams, Puka, Jawan Jennings, Kittle. Anything else has question marks.
Stafford Purdy.
I could be talked into it. I could be talked into it depending on what my other options are.
Of course you.
I have them both rated fairly high, but I don't love it. And I'm not over the moon about it.
Yeah, no.
I have Purdy higher, but I don't love it. Like I said what I said. Those are the 4 players I would play, and I could be talked into the quarterbacks depending on what my other options are. Outside of that, that game is gross. I'm expecting a very sloppy, poopy game. And Puka to find the end zone at some point in it.
Puka, Williams, Jennings, Kittle.
Yeah, we agree. So those are the 4 that you want to play. And the rest of it is...
So you're at least getting 2 touchdowns from each side.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. Like, and then if that game wound up being 21-14, I wouldn't be surprised at all. If it was 24-17, I wouldn't be surprised. It's just a lot of crap. And it's a division game on a Thursday night, which is always tricky. It's hard to predict. I wouldn't want to gamble on this game. I'll tell you right now. I wouldn't feel confident at all about betting on it. Everything you listed was hit or miss, Daniel. That was the whole point of the conversation, was that everything on there is hit or miss. So of the hit or misses, the one that I could live with was Ridley, because he's done the most.
Yeah, since week 7,
everything on this list has issues.
Ridley has had 3 games that haven't been double digits.
Yeah, he's done the most off of the rest of that. So I would just, that's what I'm saying. This is what I could live with, because I've seen Ridley succeed.
Yeah,
the rest of it's all up in the air. Yeah. The rest of it's all a crapshoot. I could at least justify that Ridley will go out there and give me something, whereas the rest of it is like, how confident are you in your dice rolling ability? Probably more than me. Kamara, White, Tank, Charbonnet, I'm assuming.
Yeah. And I'm assuming Tank
throws
is
me off when you give me 3 last names and a first name.
Well, I
understand it. You don't want to type Charbonnet. The official nickname for Charbonnet is also Chardonnay, by the way.
Thank you, Daniel, for that.
Also, because your phone auto corrects to it. I learned from answering people's questions all week. Your phone will auto correct you to Chardonnay. So I'm like, no, he's just Zach Chardonnay now. This is easier than trying to type it properly.
Well, and that's why Levis is Levi's. Have you done that yet?
No, but that's more like that Don Draper from Mad Men meme, where it's like, I feel sorry for you. I don't think about you at all. It's more like that type of thing for me. I have Kamara as like a RB1.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's just gonna happen. And then
Charbonnet if he goes.
It's probably what it'll be. It'll be Charbonnet if Walker sits. Yeah. That's what it'll be. And if Walker's gonna play, then I'll play White but then you're really just waiting. You're just waiting on injury reports at that point. And if there are, and if everybody plays, White,
Kamara
I
White.
think. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, at that point, do you actually go to Bigsby or no?
No, I don't.
Okay, I didn't think so, but I was like, I should ask.
Bigsby's the one that I'm just is a scratch.
It very much terrifies me.
Yeah, Bigsby's a scratch. I don't want to play Bigsby. I really don't want to play any Jags except for maybe Brian Thomas. Maybe that would be okay. But outside of that, especially with Evan Ingram missing practice today, that might be the only other thing I would consider. And now he's not practicing, and I'm like, got a little bit of that Breece Hall knee, huh? We might need you. We need you for next year. Don't really need you right now. My knee. Oh, my knee.
I feel like Brian Thomas should be doing that too, though.
Yeah, Brian Thomas is a rookie. They don't give rookies. You know how the NFL works. They don't give rookies that kind of treatment. You got to be a veteran to get that. You got to be a veteran that gets paid to get that kind of treatment. You know how it works. Rookies have to go wipe tables and bust dishes and pay for stuff and do things like that. So the better block.
Yeah, so he doesn't want anybody else.
Yeah. No, I get it. Okay. Interesting. It's an interesting question. Don't get asked questions like this every day. I don't normally counter draft.
I still think it's Knicks.
I have them literally 2 spots apart. Knicks has the better schedule, which I'm sure is why you're saying that, because I know how
and
heavily
the rushing floor. Like that's what always gets me is his rushing ability. The lack of the run game and his rushing ability boosts him ahead of Darnold for me.
I have Darnold 2 spots ahead because Darnold has just been white hot.
I get it.
I would do it. I would probably do it this way if I could swing it. I would just snake. I would want to block. I'd probably want to block Knicks this week because the Colts, and then the week after I really want to block Darnold because it's Seattle and their defense is poop. Whereas
is this your team with Allen? Because if that's the case, drop Allen, pick up Darnold, and stop playing this game. Just have them both.
You mean Braylon Allen?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not playing Braylon Allen at this point,
at what point would you play him moving forward? I mean,
well, unfortunately, the theory was that if Hall was not going to play, which guess what is happening, but now it's a committee with Davis, and that's not what we were expecting.
Drop it and get rid of it. Like it's not worth it.
If you're not going to play it at this point with Hall already hurt, and you're already saying I have better options, you no longer need to hold on to Allen.
Yeah,
and just pick up, just grab them both and just stick them on there, and just prevent people from having nice things. I normally don't play this game, Daniel. I don't, but
we don't like to. But
I don't normally like doing this because I think you could use your spots more effectively. But in your situation, I understand. Half PPR, huh?
Yep.
Go ahead. I know you probably already have. I gotta look. I gotta flip my rankings. To
so it will be Judy, Sutton, and then Shakir. The Thielen is close, but I still think that Shakir seems to be the one who is getting downfield the most and having the most success. So. Also seems like the only thing that's really working for outside of Josh Allen just being himself is the only other offensive piece that's really been consistent.
Yeah. I don't think I could sit Sutton.
Nope. Can't sit Sutton, can't sit Judy.
Yeah. I think you're going to have to play Sutton, and you're going to have to play Judy. And normally this would be easy. You would just play Mike Evans.
Yep.
But with him being questionable and beat up the way that he is, I have Shakir slightly over Thielen, so I'd probably just roll Shakir if I was afraid of it. So,
yeah.
PA, this didn't come through. You're going to have to retype it. What?
Jamar Chase and Puka?
Oh, for rankings? Puka could crack the top 10, I guess. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, I guess.
Top 10 for next year. Maybe. It depends on whether or not Cooper Kupp is still there and like how that team's going to work in the offseason. If Cooper Kupp is gone, as many people expect, then then it changes the calculus. So maybe we'll have to wait and see. He has Adams and Sutton in the RB question of who to cut. It doesn't change my answer.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I'm more worried about Juwan Johnson because he's hurt.
Yeah. Again.
Yeah. Like, that's my bigger issue with Juwan Johnson is the fact that he's questionable again. And he is practicing. Good. But it's limited. And he's going to be limping around out there all week. So, I don't know about this. The problem is this week there's a lot of really bad streaming options. as we will get to when we do the wheel of tight ends. You will see what I'm talking about. It's ugly every week. This week is worse. Jason, you know how Brock Bowers is leading all tight ends, right? In like every category in fantasy.
Yeah.
You see how many yards he actually has?
No, but I didn't think he was close to beating the Kittle Kelsey game back. Do you remember when they were both going back and forth for most yards in a season?
Yeah,
I feel like I don't think he's going to hit 1,000 this year, right?
No, he's not.
Okay.
No way. He has 4 games to do it, and he has like 650 yards. Like it's like more like 680, but like that's the state of tight end this year. We a long way from some of that other stuff, honey.
But that volume is
the volume's great. No one's arguing about the volume, but the total yardage is terrible.
That team's also kind of been terrible.
Yeah, I'd say honest to God, like before you're getting into Juwan Johnson, I'd like to see if Pat Freiermuth is available. If he's gonna keep doing what he's doing, that would be attractive. I'd like to see if potentially Hunter Henry's available, even though it's wildly inconsistent.
Well, it's not inconsistent. It's he's not getting the touchdown. The touchdown's going to Hooper, which is annoying.
And I'd rather see if by some miracle Zach Ertz is available. I know he's also questionable, but they give him every Wednesday off because he's old. So that's not really telling me much. Like I'd rather see if Ertz is available. I'd rather see if somebody maybe cut Ferguson. Did somebody cut Otten out of frustration? Hunter Henry's probably available. Pat Freiermuth is likely probably available. Before we get to Juwan. It's real bad this week. It's real bad.
Yeah, I was trying to see if there's anything else that I liked.
It's real poop.
I kind of doubt it. Grant Calcaterra.
I mean, I guess if you want
to play Gray.
Yeah, like those are things that could be okay, but it's kind of the same thing.
You know what? Stone Smart.
Maybe if Will Dissly is actually ruled out, then it's possible.
Just a name to bring up because
he looked good. He looked good.
Widely available.
I know what you're talking about. He looked good in that game.
He's fine.
He looked good.
I don't love it, but
I don't love it either. There's a reason he's your third tight end. You know what I mean? Like there's a reason for that. But in that game, he looked pretty good. Yeah, we just did this, Daniel.
So get rid of Allen.
If you're at this point and we've already arrived at the universe where Hall is probably not playing and you're still not going to play Allen because he's in a committee and you have better options, you can just cut Allen at that point. You wrote it out. You did what you were supposed to do, and if you would rather have a blocking QB, that's not how I would play. But if it makes you feel better, if it makes you sleep at night a little easier,
also, if that's Javonte Williams, I'm also fine dropping that.
Yeah, that's fine too. Yeah, if you want to cut Javonte Williams at this point, I'm not going to fight you. Yeah, we got it. We got there.
First 3.
Yeah, first 3.
Judy Sutton Jennings, knock it out.
Laporta, Ottencraft, Ferguson,
Henry.
Oh God, no. Oh, not even close.
So you have Ferguson higher, probably.
I have a lot of things higher than Hunter Henry on this list. I would rather play most of this list over Hunter Henry. Laporta is going to be my answer to you in a direct way. I have it as Laporta. I'm not going to go through the whole list. It's too long. And we're going to do the wheel tight end later anyway. I'd rather play Hunter Henry over Smart.
Yeah.
And I'd also rather play Hunter Henry over Juwan Johnson. So there's your answer. All right, Jason, who's your quarterback start of the week?
Shouldn't be any surprise. I'm going back to it. Jameis Winston versus the Chiefs. Since week 7.
You just can't help yourself, can you?
Nope, I can't. Since week 7, Chiefs have allowed 16 plus fantasy points to every quarterback outside of this past week against Herbert, who did not have McConkey Gesicki or Disley for most of the game. So, and even he put up 13. I think this is actually a game that the Browns could very easily win. All of Winston's weapons are healthy, with the exception of potentially Njoku, and Tillman is close. So we'll see if that helps. And let me tell you, if he has both of them, I would be surprised if he doesn't put up 20 fantasy points this week. Because I don't think the Chiefs can guard both Judy and Tillman at the same time, and then Njoku.
Maybe. My only caveat to this is that if Jameis Winston starts turning the ball over as he is wont to do,
even then, he's had good games with turning the ball over.
Yeah, but I don't really want to play that game if I'm completely honest with you. For me, it's going to be Jared Goff. I think this is a great Goff week. Buffalo's defense is good, but that game is at home in the Dome in Detroit. And I think you're finally going to see, like, Buffalo's defense is good. There's no debating this. Like, they're good. But this game, I think you're going to see a track meet. They're both going to need to play offense to win this game. Whoever can play the most offense, and they are going to play offense. This game is going to run the full 60 minutes. And this is, for me, the game of the week. This is a game to watch. Unlike last week where I was telling you to go wash your car or read a book or go Christmas shopping, or just, you don't need to watch those games. This week you have some real football fan watching games, butt on couch, get your drinks, get your snacks, send the kids out with the family, get them out. Like, go have them go see Santa. Pretend you have to work. Like, do that, because you got some real fun games this weekend. Eagles Steelers is also very entertaining.
Dallas Panthers, loving it.
Great.
That's one of my go-tos this week, baby.
I doubt I
love
could
that game.
I doubt I could eat
that morning game. Is going to be one to watch. It's the only one in the morning you want to watch.
Sleep in. You don't need to watch that. That's terrible.
Dolphins Texans, the other morning game that you might look at. Yeah, exactly. It's the best game for the morning. If they do not have this on your TV, it's extremely frustrating.
The big man in the little white truck should be there any minute now. They told me it would be an hour. We're at an hour 5. They'll be there. They'll be here.
Then you have.
They're very nice. I assure you, they're very nice. They're just going to take you somewhere where you can answer some questions. It's fine. You'll be fine. Like.
And then literally all afternoon are all great games.
Bangers.
All great games in the afternoon.
Bangers. Just banger after banger after banger. It's just bangers. And I'm like, why couldn't we have had some of these bangers last week? You couldn't give me like 2? No, we're going to put them all on at the same time, and you're going to like it. And it's like just bangers. All bangers.
Bar, baby. We're going to go to the bar, have the 15 TVs.
It literally would be the week to go to the bar. Like, this would be the excuse to go to the bar. And take an Uber, and take an Uber there, and take an Uber home, my friend. Because, Uber there and Uber home. Because this would be the week to go to the bar and hang out with your friends and have a few libations, if that's something you like to do. This is it.
The Sunday night game, not good. Monday night games, not good.
Nope. Oh. No. Yeah, you can skip tomorrow. Don't need to worry about that. But yeah, Sunday
afternoon. That's
Sunday afternoon. You got bangers, some real bangers, and I love how they put them all on in the afternoon.
Of course,
it really makes me laugh. Where it's like, yeah, there's some serious heat in that afternoon window, so that's gonna be good.
Well, and I was looking at next week, and like half of the games are all flexible. I'm like, of course they are.
Yep,
they're gonna mess with the schedule. It's gonna be trash. I'm not.
Because people are gonna start dipping off and getting ready for the holidays, and they know it. So they're gonna give people a reason to watch. Straight up bangers.
Go to the bar at 3.
Yeah, go to the bar.
Set up, get your food.
Go with your friends. Get wings. Get drinks. Take an Uber if you're gonna have drinks, like adult drinks. Take an Uber. Get an Uber home. Maybe see if you can get the day off work on Monday. Bangers, like legit. I want to watch them all simultaneously on a big TV. Like,
yeah.
So that'll be
What else you don't know? Colts versus Broncos. Bills versus Lions.
yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
Steelers versus Eagles.
Do it. Love it. Doing it. Love it. What a
Patriots
game.
Cardinals. There could be something there. Bucks and Chargers.
That game also has potential because I'm not a Chargers fan, as has been well documented, but that game could be entertaining because that's what happens when you have two, like the Buccaneers offense is really good and their defense is terrible, and the Chargers offense isn't good, but their defense is good. And so you have like this weird thing where you have like the two puzzle pieces that fit together. The Chargers offense is bad, but they have no competition on the Bucks defense. So they should be able to move the ball and keep the game competitive. And it's like the Bucks offense is good, but so is the Chargers defense. That game could be entertaining. It has a shot at being entertaining. And there's going to be a million turnovers and a million mistakes. And that game literally is going to be won by the team that makes the least mistakes.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a million mistakes. Like it's going to be penalties and just schlock and crap, and it's going to be ugly. But it could be fun. So
yeah, now I have to look. I didn't pick up the line earlier in the week.
Yeah. We're happy to help PA. So we're doing
Chargers -3, 45 and a half.
So I'm to put a fine point on it. I'm recommending Goff. This is a great Goff week because he's going to have to try. Like he's going to have to use his whole rear end in this game. And they're going to have to try. And that game's going to run the full 60 minutes. I think it'll be great. So I'm looking forward to that. Jason, who's your quarterback sit of the week?
Mostly because he terrifies me. It's Kyler Murray.
I don't understand you. You spend all season picking players literally based on their schedule, and then when a player has the best matchup that he could have, you sit him. I don't understand you. You're not an understandable person.
Again, it's the same thing what it always is with him. I don't know which one's going to show up.
No, I've been doing the inside of every Cardinals. There are two Cardinals. There's like a playoff team that's like a borderline playoff team, and then there's one of the bottom 5 worst teams in the NFL. And you don't know which one is coming because sometimes it switches mid-game. The Cardinals is the most bipolar team in the NFL for my money. It's just bipolar. It's crazy.
Also, McBride potentially being limited right now makes me worried because if he's gone, who are they going to throw it to? Like there's a lot of question marks around that.
Could be anybody. I don't know. I have no idea.
And it terrifies me.
Yeah.
So again, it's nothing to do with the Patriots, nothing to do with the actual game. It's just what Cardinals, what Cardinal team.
Okay. All right,
Perfect.
Jason's cut
what
off.
Cardinal team
All right, Jason's done.
Yeah.
Jason's had too many alcoholic Mountain Dews.
Cardinal.
For me, I'm moving right along. And no, that will not be the official name of the Cardinals on this show. I will go ahead and politely bow out if that's what you all want to do. Go ahead. I'm not getting canceled over this. For me, it's going to be Jalen Hurts, and this is a tough one because Hurts, you almost likely don't have better options. But I am very much lowering my expectations for Hurts because it's the worst matchup you could have. And I think this is a big Saquon game. I'm fine with playing Brown because I think they're gonna give Baby Bottle, but this is not a joke game. This is like a serious game that has real playoff implications. The Eagles have clinched a playoff spot, but that doesn't mean they've clinched the spot they want. And the problem is this is a terrible matchup. The Steelers have been great at rushing the passer, and their secondary has been really good. And Hurts hasn't been playing very well over the last 3 weeks. He's been kind of like surviving. This is why they spent all that money on Saquon, and it's been a great decision. Because when they go one-dimensional, they're not that great. They're good, but they're not that great. Whereas this gives them another way to win, and I think this is going to be we're going to get Saquon.
This is a heavyweight fight.
We're going to give Saquon the GD ball, and then we are going to get AJ Brown the GD ball, and we ain't playing this game. Like we are going to our stars, and we're going to use our stars to try to win. and we're going to count on our stars to be able to outplay their defense. And maybe that switches at some point in the game if they can't get anything going, but I think that's going to be the mindset going into it. Is we are going to. I agree with heavyweight fight's a good way to put it, because this is two playoff teams that are both very good at in their respective areas. They're both going to be in the postseason, and they're gonna slug it. But I am concerned about the point total for Hurts. He's not going to be out there running weedily, all weedily D and like all that stuff, because they are trying to protect him a little bit for the playoffs. So they want to win this game, but to a point. So I'm a little concerned about Hurts. That being said, you probably don't have better options, so you're probably going to have to start him. But I'm not counting on a huge point total from him. But I don't know what else you could do.
What's up, Aaron? Yeah, so he asked in the Discord why I suggested sitting CD over Tillman or Mooney. Or for Tillman and Mooney. And when it comes to this, it's more of the fact that, one, if Tillman's playing, there's no way I am sitting Tillman over pretty much anybody that isn't Chase, Jefferson, Judy, potentially end of list this week. I just don't see it happening. Judy's going to have the main coverage. Tillman's going to be wide open, and Joki's beat up. So I don't see that happening. And then coming off the week that Mooney just had, he's just been so consistent for me. I know it's been kind of rough, but he just put up 20 points this past week. And this is another game that could very easily get out of control. So I'd much rather root for Cousins to get it to Mooney in a game that I actually think the Falcons have a shot at winning again.
Maybe.
So that's the whole
it's
reason
very
behind
possible
that.
given their opponent. So,
and then I understand, talked about it, this game being a potential big game. I'm also nervous that Dallas just wants to win the game to keep their playoff chances alive. And if that's the case, they do that by running the ball and controlling the clock.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of what I touched on, is just I'm worried that that's what they do. They use Dowdle a lot to control the clock and run it down as much as they can. And then I'd be surprised if Cooper Rush throws him more than 23 times this week.
It sounds like you guys have already hashed this out. So we'll go to it.
Well, that was my point. I was just curious. He wants to hear your side of it, because I could be crazy. You know how I am.
Just to put a fine point on this, you could do whatever you want to Carolina, and I have CeeDee Lamb as like wide receiver 12. Everything you just described, I would say, is like the definition of getting cute in the playoffs, which I don't do. I dance with the one who brung me, and warts and all, CD brought you. Because I could make the other side of this argument, which is he looks like he's about to murder everyone on the sideline every week, and they keep putting him on television. And this could literally be the game where they're like, you know what, F it, just throw it to CeeDee Lamb 50 times. I don't care. Like, we can beat them this way. It's fine. Just do it. Just put it on him. Give baby bottle, so he'll shut up and stop being such a malcontent, and we can win this game anyway and keep our playoff hopes alive there. So it's like, what scares me more about CeeDee Lamb is the questionable tag, but he was limited, so it's probably fine. But he's got a shoulder. They're saying it's not serious, but he should play.
So the same shoulder from week 11?
Yeah. So to be clear, I would play CeeDee Lamb, because anything else outside of that is the definition to me of getting cute. Now, if you want to talk about sitting Marvin Harrison, that's a different thing. I would be more than happy to play Mooney over MHJ. I'm good with that.
It would clearly be Lamb and Tillman, right? If you just had to pick two.
Or
would you go Mooney over?
I'll tell you. Hang on, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be Lamb. Oh, you know what? I can't answer this until I officially see Tillman get cleared because I have to redo my rankings. I haven't moved him up because he hasn't officially cleared the protocol yet. I have Mooney at 35. I'd probably have Tillman somewhere in that neighborhood. So wide receiver 35, that is. I'm assuming PPR. So I'd say it'd be something like that, though. You'd be in the neighborhood of that. You'd be in the neighborhood of it. I might play Mooney though, just because Mooney has been I don't know. It's tricky because he's coming off the 2 threes. I kind of block that out of my memory.
Yeah.
Because he was on a nice heater. He had a nice 3-game heater, and then the Falcons have just dissolved like sugar and coffee. And then he had a good week last week against Minnesota, but that's because Minnesota's secondary isn't good. And it's like neither's the Raiders. It would be either Tillman or Mooney. I'll answer that question. I don't know that I could say definitively because I have to figure out where I'm going to rank Tillman once he officially clears the protocol. But he's going to be right in that mid 30s neighborhood, right where Mooney is. That's where he's going to live. Largely because Tillman is a good option, but he's a little scary because we haven't seen him play for the last few weeks, and Judy's done a lot in those 2 weeks to really cement that wide receiver 1 job. So we're gonna see how it goes. But however that goes, we could work that out into the weekend. Once we officially see practice reports and everything, and I'll update my rankings. The main issue I have with what you're talking about, though, is that I wouldn't sit CeeDee Lamb. I couldn't bring myself to do it. Just given the matchup and given what's going on, I feel like that's the definition of getting cute. And I can't. I know what would happen. I would sit him, and then he would go off in a huge way, and then I would be furious for the remainder of my life. Like, I'd remember that forever. I'd be upset about it until I was dead. So I know how I am. I know how I work. There's no way that I could deal with that, and I wouldn't put that on other people. But that's how I would approach it. And then,
Yep.
Yeah, we already covered that. So yeah, I think it's going to be a target bonanza for AJ Brown so that he just shuts up. And I would not start any of that over Brown. There's very little that you could talk to me about that would talk me off of starting AJ Brown this week.
Oh, I thought that was Chase because they're running backs.
No, I don't think that's what he means.
Okay, yeah, no.
He literally asks a question about AJ Brown and then references Brown. I don't see why suddenly it's going to suddenly be Chase Brown. I know it's running backs, but I don't think that's what he means.
Okay.
So that's how I'm reading it. And there's very little in the world you could give me to not play AJ Brown. Okay, Jason, who's your running back start of the week?
Well, we touched on him on quite a bit. So Sear McCormick gets the full job, plays the Falcons. Not a great matchup, but love how
whole job.
Whole job. He's going to get the whole job, and they're going to...
Such as it is.
Yep. And it's a decent matchup for him. I mean, it could be worse, and there's a lot of teams that get it worse. So, of the people that are outside the top 24, I could see him sneaking in there.
Yeah.
Sneaking right through that.
I hear you. I hear you on that one. No, it's a good one because it's very relevant for
this week.
This week. And then for me, it's going to be Jaylen Warren. It's intriguing mostly because Jaylen Warren has literally, yeah, it's like he was clearly hurt for the first 7-8 weeks of the season, and then he started to get healthy. But he's the passing down back in a game where I think they're going to have to throw dump offs because I have a feeling they're going to be playing from behind. It's kind of what I'm counting on here is that I think the Steelers are going to be playing from behind a little bit, and in games where they play from behind, Jaylen Warren is very attractive. So you can't go by his metrics because they say it's not a good matchup for opposing running backs, and I'm like, right, but he's not really a running back.
Yeah.
in this context. So I'm okay with playing Warren because I think he's going to catch a lot of dump
He's more of a
offs.
tight end.
He is a little bit more of a tight end in that
A
sense.
very,
But
very small tight end.
of the two, I would rather play McCormick. I would, if they were both available, I would rather play McCormick. But that's just for this week, and that has a lot to do with the fact that McCormick's going to get the whole job. And did I mention that the Falcons' defense sucks? Pretty sure I've mentioned that several times, but we want to make sure we get that in there wherever possible. Okay, and then who is your running back sit of the week?
Going back to the well. John Taylor versus the Broncos.
Yeah.
Terrifies me. Richardson still quarterback. I mean, that's literally the only thing that I feel really holds back Jonathan Taylor is Richardson's ability to move the ball, his stealing, potentially vulturing touchdowns. I don't like that. And Broncos run defense, or just defense overall being a strong defense to go up against.
Yeah. I'm also going back to the well. It's all Chiefs running backs. All Chiefs running backs are useless. They're all useless. I don't care that it's Cleveland. Stop asking me this question on Twitter. Stop DMing me this question. I am not playing a Chiefs running back because they're when it's one guy, the
Great.
Chiefs running back is pretty darn good. It's a low end RB1, a high end RB2 every week. When it is two guys, it is useless. They are both useless. It does not matter that Pacheco is a significantly better running back than anyone else on that roster, and it's not even close. That is not relevant here because they are going to continue using both of them because Andy Reid cannot allow Pacheco to get hurt before the playoffs. And what we're learning is that Pacheco cannot be a true workhorse RB1 in the NFL. Sorry, honeys, but that dream is over. He's too whittle. He's just a whittle guy. And he's whittle. He's always got some kind of thing. He's not a big guy. Like, he's too small to do that job and be the only guy. So moving forward, the Chiefs is almost certainly going to be running back by committee. It's just a question of what that committee is going to be. And I know Isaiah Pacheco would literally tell me to go F myself. And he's probably right to do so, but I don't care. For fantasy purposes, this just is reality. This is the new reality. They're not going to roll out there with one guy anymore because I think we've learned they can't be a one guy team. Whenever they're a one guy team, that one guy gets murdered. And then they have nothing else. And then you have to go sign Kareem Hunt off his couch. And they don't even like Kareem Hunt. They're pretty open about that they don't want Kareem Hunt and don't like him. Because by all accounts, he's kind of a dick. Like, that's not me. I didn't invent that. Like, there's video evidence of it. And I don't just mean what the incident that Jason is nodding his head about from you. I mean, like, there's evidence of, like, Kareem Hunt, kind of a dick. And that's why people don't like him. And that's why they don't want to sign him. Because now he's old. But he's still good enough. And he knows their system. So sometimes in life, you got to work with people you don't like. Because they can get the job done. And that's what it is. And it's like, that's where we are. So next year, I'm expecting the Chiefs to go get a running back. Don't know who it's going to be. They might draft a kid. But it ain't going to be the Pacheco workhorse show anymore. Can't do it. And it's probably not going to be Steele. Especially because there's
CEH.
Oh, no, and it's probably not going to be CEH, and Pirine might make the team, but that's because they love Pirine. Because Pirine, every coach has ever coached Pirine loves Pirine, because Pirine is a coach's dream. Hey, Pirine, go jump off that bridge. All right. It's literally the career of Samaje Pirine, because he's smart. He knows that he's not the best athlete in the world or on that team, but his strength is that he will literally do whatever they tell him to do.
Return kicks.
And he doesn't complain.
Wall. Yeah.
He doesn't complain. Go out there and pass block. Go out there and play special teams. Give me your lunch money. He does it. And there's a certain value to that. You know what I mean? There's a certain value to that idea. So, like, Pirine might make the team. Not gonna lie to you. Like that's kind of where it is. So, um, so there you go. There you go. All right, we have to take some more questions here real quick. I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible. Where do you have Neighbors ranked? Is the translation of this question.
Good.
I have him at 24. He becomes a low-end wide receiver 2. It is a significant downgrade, and so I would play him as a low-end wide receiver 2, high-end flex. I'm probably still going to wind up starting him depending on my team. Daniel, I see what you're doing out of the corner of my eye. You are intentionally being ignored. We're going to do your questions. We're going to do them. But I'm literally going to end the show and let everyone else leave. And then we are going to do the Daniel questions just for you because you're a special boy. And that's literally what I'm doing because I'm not going to subject people to the Daniel question hour. So you are going to get your questions answered, but I am straight up intentionally ignoring you. And I'm literally going to dismiss the class and let them go home if they want to. And then Jason and I will do your questions. We accept tips and donations, by the way, at importantnonsense.com.
I have Malik Neighbors as my wide receiver 32.
Okay, so you're lower on him than me.
He's still
flex.
flexing.
He's a flex. Yeah. So you're probably going to play him. That's not passive aggressive. If you took that as passive aggressive, you're misunderstanding me. That's regular aggressive. That is not passive aggressive. That was me flat out regular aggressive. And if I wasn't being recorded, I would have answered that very differently. Like, I love you too. So yeah, you are literally being put in timeout for being late. Is what's happening, and I am the professor who's asking you to stay after class.
Yeah, so Neighbors ends up being a wide receiver 2-3 for me.
I appreciate that Aaron found that funny because that's what it is. Like, yeah, let's understand each other. That wasn't meant as passive aggressive. That was actual aggressive. Like, if I was not being recorded and I was allowed to answer that in a real way, like, it would have started off with this bleeping mother bleeper. Like, show starts at 7 Mountain, Daniel. Also, it was because I saw when he walked in, he literally wrote, "How much time do I have?" And I'm like, this is never good. This is never good.
It is, because you know what? That means that our Discord has gotten him into the playoffs.
It also means that our Discord is functionally down, and we need to cut a support ticket because there's literally a place for you.
I've been really hit or miss.
So that's true. That's true. We are getting. The reason that
I've been hit or miss is the EPA showed up my work today.
Oh, that's fun.
I got to deal with that.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you about that off camera. Let's not talk about that on camera. That's not an on-camera conversation.
So I was a little bit away from my computer more than expected today.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. It's also the holidays in general, and people are starting to get. If you can't tell, I have the holiday spirit.
I can see the green showing.
I have the holiday.
Up your Grinch shirt there.
Oh no, here you go. My disc golf shirt from 2015. Yeah, baby. Yeah. It's comfortable. I knew I was going to have a long work day. So I wasn't wearing the hat, obviously, but I was pretty much wearing this because I knew I was going to be working I knew it was going to be like that because everybody's trying to wrap everything up before they go on vacation. Next week is going to be dead at my job. I can already tell. No one's going to be around. They're already gone. They don't care anymore. They're trying to wrap everything up so that they can just sandbag for a week and then go home. And then they're going to go on vacation for the week of Christmas and nobody wants to deal with it because everybody's getting ready. Either their kids are about to get out of school or their kids have one more week of school. And so everybody who has kids is like right here emotionally. They're just like Santa's gonna kill you, like, and
I'm
they'll
going to start throwing
never
your disc
find the
into the
body.
fireplace.
Yeah. We answered this. He's somewhere between a low end wide receiver 2 and a flex.
Yeah.
So you're probably still gonna play him, Aaron. You probably and it sucks, but it also sucks because it's Tommy. You shouldn't have played for the Giants, Tommy. They tried to warn you, Tommy. You shouldn't have played for the Giants. You're breaking your father's heart. Yeah, it was funnier when I found out his dad. It was funnier before I found out his dad was a huge Giants fan. Okay. McCormick or Tillman is an interesting question. Probably gonna be McCormick. That's just because I don't know. Like right now, I have McCormick higher, but that's because I haven't cleared Tillman and I moved him in my rankings.
Nope. Again, and it's full PPR. I'm taking the wide receiver.
Usually the good idea.
That 10 points really seems like a low number to hit.
I think it is a floor
Especially
versus. I think it is a floor versus ceiling conversation. Because Tillman, you're looking at a 10, and if he falls in the end zone, it's a 16. Whereas if any of them was going to get to 20, it's McCormick scores twice. Because the Falcons' defense is just poo. As of right now, I'm playing McCormick. That's where we are. I reserve the right to change my answer on this as the week progresses and I get practice reports. I need to see Tillman actually like log multiple practices and clear the protocol.
Yeah, I'm hoping he clears tomorrow.
He should clear tomorrow. If he clears on Friday, it's okay.
Yeah.
But if we're still having this conversation on Saturday,
nope.
I'm not playing him. I refuse. Like, even on Friday, I'm going to be like, I don't like it. I want to see. It's already been 2 weeks. I thought he was going to clear last week, and he didn't. And he only limited practice today. He's still
concussion.
clearly.
You're not allowed to do a full.
No, I understand.
Okay.
But like,
I was like, protocol will not allow you.
He should have cleared today, and he didn't. So if he clears tomorrow and he's a full participant, and then he logs another full on Friday, I agree with you. I'll probably play Tillman. But if I'm still having this conversation with you in the background, no, we're just going to play McCormick because I know what McCormick's job is. But yes, in general, McCormick has a guaranteed number as well. So the upside is a little weird with this. So that's kind of what it is. This is one that this is a legit question though, Aaron. I get this question. I truly get this question because you're not dealing with stars versus scrubs and getting cute, and you're not dealing with like some crappy quarterback situation that's beyond your control. This is legitimately a flex question. You're dealing with a guy with a limited sample that's getting the whole job versus a guy that's trying to become the wide receiver 2 for real on a football team that has had a run of bad luck with getting popped in the head. That's a real question, though. That's a good one. I'm going to need another one. All right.
Neil's wanted to put us in the black.
What's that?
Neil's wanted to put us in the black. That Black Friday sale didn't help us at all.
I like money, Jason. It takes the sting out of a lot of things. I work for money, you know. It's the sad reality of my life is that working has to come with money. Let's see here. What are we doing? Oh, wide receiver start of the week. Go ahead.
So doesn't really count, but I'm going to throw him out there because he is really ranked lowly. If Garendo's out, Debo will be my start of the week because I expect him to get all that work. But the actual start of the week will be Xavier Legette versus the Cowboys.
Not Adam Thielen, huh?
Well, the reason that I'm not going out on Thielen is because I'm guessing that Diggs is going to play, and with all the attention that hasn't been on Thielen, I think that kind of gets shifted after his 2 good games since being back. And Diggs will be more of a shout out to him. So
interesting. Interesting. Okay. There's this week really sucks.
Yep.
Not gonna lie to y'all. So you're gonna make some decisions that you don't like. This week is kind of the issue. To that point, my start of the week is DeAndre Hopkins.
Nice.
So
I like that. I'm good with it.
it's mostly because I know what I'm getting. I'm getting 10 points. However I get it, I'm getting 10 to 12 points here. I know what I'm getting. There's very little upside. There's very little downside. In a playoff week where if I'm favored to win, I'm just going to play Hopkins because I know what I'm getting. Like it's going to be 10 to 12. And Cleveland's secondary is bad.
And he has massive mitts.
And he's got big old hands, and they should be able to move the ball, and Cleveland will be able to move the ball on them. So rather than play the running backs, I will go ahead and play Hopkins.
Nice.
I have Hopkins at around 35, give or take. I actually have him at 36 currently, but that's subject to change. I'll probably move him up like 2 or 3 spots. He's in your Cedric Tillman, where Darnell Mooney, where Cedric Tillman will likely wind up for me. He's in that range, what we call high-end flex territory.
Yeah, I have him at 33, right behind Neighbors.
Yeah, there you go. So he's right in that. He's right in that high-end flex neighborhood, Aaron, this week but for different reasons. Because he's the definition of floor. He's the literal floor. He's the I'm trying to think of a funny way to do it, but he is the he's that Empire carpet thing. That's literally what that is. Like he's the definition of flooring. Like that's what we're getting. Every week he gets 10 points. It happens in different ways, but he gets 10 points. And so if there was ever a week where I think he might be able to break above that, it would be this week because of the matchup. And because I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball at all. And because I think they're going to have to throw. And if they're going to throw, they're going to throw to him. And I know they're saying, "Oh, Hollywood Brown might be coming back." Not this week, maybe next week, but not this week.
And even if he does, okay,
don't
cool.
care. Yeah, don't care. So,
they already have that guy. It's Xavier Legette or Xavier Worthy. Wrong Xavier.
Yeah. So I have him like right at the top end of flex, and he's being rated outside of flex territory.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that seems wrong.
This seems 45.
Like, yeah, he was like 45, and I'm like, that seems really low.
Yeah.
For what you're getting. So you should be able to do better than that. I like Hopkins more than
for 10 fantasy points. You got him at 45.
Yeah, 10, and it's like I think it's like guaranteed 10. This might be the week. The reason I'm saying this might be the week you actually get more than 10, but it's at least 10. Yeah. So it's that.
Seems like you might fall in the end zone.
Right. This might be the week you get 16. So it's that type of deal.
That's a wide receiver too, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Like you get 15, 16, you like it. Who's your kicker here? Real quick.
Oh, that's close. I think it's Boswell just because of the matchup this week is really difficult, and they're gonna have to score no matter what. Because they're playing the Eagles.
I have Fairbairn at 2 because for whatever reason Miami gives up lots and lots of kicks. It's one of those weird little things.
I literally have them at 1 and 2.
Okay. I have Fairbairn at 2. I don't have Boswell that high, so I'm going to recommend Fairbairn because I feel good about that.
Yeah. So
feel good about it. Okay, and then let's do the wide receiver sit of the week.
Jaden Reed versus the Seahawks. Nope, I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of it.
I get it.
It's been too many weeks that he's been trash. I don't want him to hurt you this week. Just don't.
This is the week. This is the week he puts up a 40.
Oh, for sure.
This is absolutely the week he puts up a 40 and makes Jason look foolish.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point of a lot of these, right? Is that theoretically all my sits are people you should be.
There are several donut guys, Glitchy, but he is one of them.
Yeah.
There's actually more than one donut guy. It's actually not his fault. He got that target early in the game and drew the pass interference. And then they were literally trying to manufacture him touches, and it just didn't work out. It's like the Lions made the point of like, no, we're treating him as your wide receiver one, and we're going to treat him that way. And it turns out that Jayden Reed's not a wide receiver one in the NFL. So they were very effective at taking him away. You saw Love looking for him, and then you like seeing that he was covered immediately, and then just turning directly to Watson. That game was also very odd. A lot of the backups got a lot of work in that game because they forgot Tim Patrick existed on the other side, and they were just letting Tim Patrick just stand there wide open in the middle of the field every play. I'm like, they're just not covering him because they were making it a point. It's like, you're not going to beat me with Amon-Ra St. Brown. You're not going to beat me with St. Brown. You want to beat me with Tim Patrick? Go ahead. And then they did. It made me laugh. That had to have been the conversation where it's like, you're not going to beat me with your best players. All right, I'll just beat you with Tim Patrick then. So there you go. So yeah, okay. I can understand why Jason is gun shy about Reed. I still have him as a flex because that's how ugly this is at this point. And also because Jayden Reed is something I would play if I was projected to lose. So if I'm in a playoff game and my opponent is superior, and I know that they're superior, and I am projected to lose, Jayden Reed. It only takes one. And this is that type of game where they're playing Seattle secondary. I'm not afraid of Seattle secondary at all. And also, I think they know that coming off the 0, that he's upset, and they're going to try to make it a point to try to get him involved. But anyway, let's not spend any more time on that. For me, it is just go ahead and sit DK Metcalf. If you have made it this far, I normally say start your studs. If you've made it this far, it is in spite of DK Metcalf, not because of DK Metcalf. What you're seeing now is, I don't want to call it a changing of the guard because that's an overreaction, but I genuinely believe that DK is hurt. And he has been playing through it all year. And let's just go to the game log.
Well, I think, was it week 12 that JSN popped off? And
no, JSN was popping off a little bit before that, but he
I thought it directly coincided with DK getting hurt.
But it's before week 12.
Oh,
DK
okay.
got hurt like week 5, bro. The first time. DK's been hurt many times this year. I think DK's literally been hurt since like week 4 or 5, and he's been playing through it. And then he got seriously hurt, and then he actually missed some games because of it. Because he missed the games in week 8 and 9, by the way, are the 2 games he missed. It's not week 12.
Okay.
He came back after the bye in week 11 is when DK came back. I know this because I'm literally looking at DK Metcalf's game logs. So I'm not doing this from memory. I'm literally looking at it. So DK 4, 24, 18, 12, 5, 6. He got hurt in that Giants game, and he played through it. He played through it in week 6 against the 49ers, looked like crap. Had a good game against Atlanta, because everybody has a good game against Atlanta. Got hurt in that game, misses the next 2 games. Then there's the bye, comes back, doesn't look right against San Francisco, who had already shut him down once this year. He puts up a 10. 8 against Arizona, 8 against the Jets, 7 against Arizona. He's not right. And JSN looks great. And that's the way that this is working right now. So I don't know if it's an official changing of the guard for future seasons, but I think for the purposes of this year, DK is genuinely hurt and he's trying to play through it. And it's literally like not working. It's not working. Whereas JSN is just open on every play. No one can guard him. So it's a weird thing. But I'm not treating DK Metcalf is not getting the start your studs treatment from me for this year's fantasy playoffs that he would normally get. So I'm not starting him this week. He can go sit on the bench. He's more in the Deebo Samuel camp where it's like, good player. You drafted him to be a starter on your team. He's literally crippled you. And if you've made it this far, it is not because of him. It is in spite of him. And you've already found a replacement at this point. So play the replacement. Don't play DK. Just sit him. And that's how I will be made to look foolish when DK Metcalf puts up a 40. So you and I will be in the same boat. We'll commiserate about that in the background. All right. All right, I want to do the wheel, but we've got a whole bunch of questions here. Pickens and Downs on IR. Need to cut to.
Looks like Allen and Murray.
Yeah, Kyler and Allen. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I'd probably want another quarterback in this week, but yeah.
If I could find a better quarterback, I might play one this week. But to be honest with you, that's going to be hard to do. So, as I alluded to, but overall, I like the team.
Yeah.
I can see why this is a playoff team. It's definitely a playoff team. You have a lot of volume, which I like. You have a lot of volume, actually. In fact, this whole team is volume.
With the exception of
Gibbs. Yeah, with maybe the exception of Gibbs. But everybody on that team is a volume play, and I like it. So I think your team is good. I think you have a shot at winning. Sure.
McCormick, Warren, Bigsby.
Correct. We are exactly on the same page. I like everything on that roster except DK. Myers is a really good matchup. If I had something that I could play in place of DK, I might explore it. Because DK scares me this week. That being said, you'll probably still get 7-8 points. So if whatever your other option is won't get you at least 7-8 points, then just roll out DK and hope you get lucky. But I'm probably going to try and sit DK if I could. If I had something that I thought was a little more stable than that, I might play it. Pick 2. Ooh, there's a couple decent choices on here.
It's probably Judy and Addison. And it's mostly because Pickens is dealing with injury and might not, and doesn't look like he's going to play. Because I'd probably go Pickens, but really scary.
I'm going to play Connor, I think. Like, Connor is kind of like, it's boom or bust with Connor, though. So I understand that. But Connor has a great matchup against the Patriots. There's no way I could sit Connor this week or next week. Especially because he's largely the reason you're in the playoffs to begin with. I'm gonna play Connor. There's no way you're gonna talk me out of that.
And Judy, then
that's tougher. The second one is tougher because I have them relatively close. I have Judy the highest, but I am a little nervous about it. It's gonna be Judy, but I don't like it. Part of me wants to play Flowers because of the matchup, but the problem is that over the last 4 weeks he's been dreadful
because they've been able to run the ball.
I don't think, yeah, and I think they'll be able to do whatever they want. And what we know about them is that they can do whatever they want. It's run the ball. And so I have him lower than normal.
Are likely.
I have Judy ranked the highest, so that's what I'll tell you. And I agree with you. Pickens probably isn't playing. Garendo isn't even in this conversation for me. And then
again, the PPR makes me lean the wide receivers, but I understand playing Connor because he's kind of been a wide receiver.
I'm playing Connor. There's no way you're going to talk me out of playing Connor. I'm going to play Connor, and then I will probably play Judy, but I will sit there long and hard and stare at Addison. I will sit there long and hard and think about that. But I think on balance, I'd have to play Judy. He's just been too good. So I think we're going to end up in a similar place. We're both going to play Judy. I'm going to play Connor and Judy.
Yeah. So no, and I also think Judy's familiarity with the Chiefs is another potential. Help. Yeah, could help him a little bit.
Okay, there's nothing on there that I would recommend playing over Hurts. I think I would just roll the dice with Hurts. Hope I get lucky in a bad matchup. Stroud's been way too inconsistent. Caleb's actually somewhat intriguing, but the risk is too high. And then Rodgers is no. And I know you might want to talk about Jameis Winston, but I'm going to say no to that too. I wouldn't do that. That is the definition of playing with fire, and it's the definition of getting cute, and you know I won't do it. I'll start my stud.
Yeah. I would play Winston, but again, that's because
they'll be there any minute.
Yep. There's
the
just so
mental
much upside.
the
I don't
mental
care.
institution will be there any minute. They'll be there to pick you up. Good
I'm
luck with that.
so nervous. Like I said, you keep bringing it up, man.
No.
The only
I'm not doing that either. That's no.
yeah, the closest thing is Winston for me, but it's very difficult to not, as Neil says, dance with the one who brought you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dance with the one who brung you. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. Daniel, are you paying attention? Are you here? Show me signs of life, Daniel. Signs of life need to occur because I need to know whether or not I'm going to the wheel of tight ends. You know what? He's not answering in real time. We're going to the wheel of tight ends. Decision made. I've made the executive decision. Oh, he's here. Okay. He's here. All right.
Huh.
All right. Bear with me, everybody. If you want to see the wheel of tight ends, you got to sit through Daniel's question corner. Direct your hate mail and complaints to Daniel Ward. I didn't do this. This is how this occurred in my life. This is how this occurred. And I'm like, you are being ignored. And then what also annoyed me was playoffs. Thank you.
Yeah, baby.
Thank you. I love you, Daniel. Know that I love you. But I saw that happening and I'm like, this guy shows up an hour and a half into the show and just starts lighting it up in paragraphs. Like, no, I'm not doing this. There's other people here that have been waiting. Like, we're not doing this. And he's asking standard questions, which, as he knows, is $1 a question. I've upped my rates. My advice is stop playing standard. That's my answer to your question. It's not even standard anymore. If Steve was here, he would be saying it's no point, and he is correct. That's what you did. You did that. That's on you, bro.
Also, they heard his wheel tighten in, and they're like, we're done.
We are done. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna do the wheel tight end, and then I'm gonna go eat dinner. It's literally what's about to happen here.
Okay.
All right. So set his lineup for him is what this question ultimately is.
Okay. So starting at quarterback, Kyler or Baker? Baker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Agree.
2 running backs, Jones, Achane, or Walker.
That's it. Those are your choices. Yeah. So it's Jones and Achane because Walker's probably not playing.
Correct. 3 wide receivers. We're looking at DK, T. Higgins, Flowers, Jennings.
I'm going to play Jennings. I'm going to play Flowers.
God, that's
even
brutal.
though it's all bad. So, like, I already just got done talking about how I'm not playing DK.
I think at this point I might play DK.
Really?
Over Flowers, yeah.
Over Flowers, huh?
Yeah.
I'm going to play Evans. I'm going to play Higgins. And I'm going to play Jennings. Yep. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. It's going to be Flowers, Jennings, and DK for me. No. Jennings, Higgins, DK. Sorry.
Okay. I'm playing Evans over DK.
Yeah. That's fine.
I can't bring myself to play DK this week. I'll run the risk that Evans manages to just haul in a touchdown at some point, and then even if he hurts his leg while he does it, I don't care because I got what I needed. And I salute you for your service, sir. Ravens is one defense 1
for both of us.
And then top 5 playoff kickers.
Moody.
Fairbairn. I like Fairbairn a lot. I like Dicker. I like Fairbairn. I like Dicker. I like Reichard, which always makes me think of Star Trek. I will play Aubrey this week. And Bass for me. If you really want to get cute and you really want to go nuts, Jake Bates. Yeah. Jake Bates or Bass, either one. Because that game's going to be a points festival. At least it should be.
Yeah, that's fine. I told you the 3 that I was really looking at. Okay, I was like, cool. Loot.
No, we're good. Next question. See why
Yeah.
this is happening is because
One quarterback.
we're literally setting Daniel's playoff lineups for him while
Yeah.
everyone else watches us do it. And that's where I saw this happening, and I'm like, no, you're waiting.
Nope.
You're waiting, bro. You're going to the back of the line. And I'm sorry to do that to you because you're a paying customer and you're a longtime patron, and I actually genuinely like you. But this is not entertaining for other people. Like, that's what you got to understand, Daniel, is that when you're doing this, no one else is being entertained. We're literally just doing this for you. And you could easily just post this in the Discord, and multiple people will come set your lineup for you. But when you have us do it on the air, no one else is getting anything out of this.
Now, had he been here first thing tonight, we probably
I would have
done it.
actually sprinkled them in. I would have sprinkled them in amidst other people's questions, but when they just get posted as a wall of text, it's like, nah, we ain't doing that.
All right, you're going Knicks or Purdy for quarterback?
Knicks.
Yeah. Okay. I figured. It's
No,
really
no. We're on the same page there. It's Knicks.
Okay. And then running back,
Gibbs, Swift.
Is Swift playing?
I think so.
Okay.
That's what it says.
All right.
Will Swift be effective? I don't know, but he's playing.
All right. Then we need 2 wide receivers: Adams, Neighbors, Downs, Hopkins, MVS, Moore. Oof.
I'm gonna play
Adams.
I'm gonna play Adams for sure, and then it gets interesting. It gets very interesting, in fact.
Because you're going to go to Downs.
Well, I want to go to Downs, but
you rather go. You just said your start was Hopkins.
I know, but and then
Neighbors is there too.
Yeah, that's where I had to go look and see where I have Downs ranked. I haven't moved him up because. So here's how I would answer this. You're playing Adams for sure, and
you're dropping MVS and picking up Tillman.
I'm not doing that. I got other things I would rather do than that on this list. I would rather. This is where it gets into the idea of like risk tolerances and what I think I need. Because if I need to swing and do home run moonshots, we could start having the Neighbors MVS conversation.
Well, about MVS, I just don't think it's useful. Because again, we're not sure on Carr, and then you're believing in Hainer.
What do you want to bet that Derek Carr don't play that game? If you want to take the Carr is going to play side of it, I've got
that's
a series of bets all off.
You're talking about a moonshot, but the only moonshot for MVS includes Carr being the quarterback.
Yeah. So here's what I'll tell you. Here's what I'll tell you with this whole operation. I have Neighbors rated the highest technically, but very risky. It's a very risky.
No, I have Adams rated the highest.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm not counting that. I already said we're playing Adams. I'm talking about of the second wide receiver.
Okay. You're good.
We're gonna. It's between Neighbors and Hopkins, but that's very different things. It's floor versus ceiling. So Daniel, if you're projected to lose by $1 billion, I'm rolling Neighbors.
Yeah.
Because I need the ceiling. So we're gonna put Neighbors in, and we're gonna hope that Tommy can figure out how to play football. Targets. Yeah. And if I think I have a shot at winning this game, I just got done explaining that why DeAndre Hopkins is my start of the week. So we're gonna do DeAndre Hopkins in that case.
But yeah, you're definitely wanting McConkey and Tillman on your team. So dropping MVS and Moore for that, completely fine doing that.
Yeah, you can go ahead and drop MVS and Moore to pick up McConkey and Tillman. And then who are the flexes?
McConkey and
flexes.
Assuming they play McConkey and Tillman.
Okay, I agree with the McConkey. McConkey definitely needs to be a flex, assuming that he plays. I'm right there with you on that.
Okay.
I think I would play the other one of Neighbors and D-Hop over Tillman.
That's fine.
I would probably do that.
That's much safer. You know how I am.
Significantly safer. Yeah, you min-max everything, and
let's go.
Sometimes it works, and sometimes it more often than not doesn't. Played fantasy football for years, bro. Guys, I know how you are. It either works in spectacularly or it flames out horribly, and I'd say 60% of the time works every time is kind of the Jason philosophy. And then he has very selective memory about how some of those events work. He has a tendency to really remember the ones that worked and not so much remember the ones that didn't. Like,
As is everybody. You only know the wins.
I understand that's a human nature thing, but you have even more human nature than most humans. See, again, we're setting the
Crazy
lineup
Connor.
here. So, 2 running back. Yeah. So set my lineup. I'm playing Connor as one of the running backs for sure.
Tracy.
And then I think Tracy, but it's going to come down to flexes.
Okay.
So my 2 wide receivers are going to be Adams and Sutton. So we're playing Adams and Sutton as a wide receiver.
Then
I'm going to play Jonnu Smith as my tight end because there's no universe where I'm not doing that.
Yep.
So then you need 3 flexes effectively, and one of them has to be your running back.
Yeah. So it's going to be Hopkins, Shakir, then Giant of some sort. Because you're not playing. There's no way that I'm playing Pacheco.
No. Pacheco's off the table. What I would rather do is play Warren because I know what that is. So I'm going to play.
If it was more consistent, I would.
I'm going to make this simple. I'm going to play Connor and Warren, and then I'm going to play Adams and Hopkins, and then Jonnu as my tight end, and then as my flexes, I'm going to play Neighbors and Sutton. Some kind of thing like that is what my lineup is going to be. And if you want to put Sutton in as your wide receiver too and flip it, go ahead. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. Like, but that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to sit. I'm effectively sitting Pacheco, Tracy, and Shakir and Ingram.
Yeah.
I'm effectively sitting those players. So what do you want to do?
I would sit Pacheco.
I can't trust Tyrone.
Warren.
Tracy. Really?
And Neighbors.
Okay, you want to play Tyrone Tracy, huh?
Dude just saw 10 targets.
Okay.
That's like, I mean, if that happens again, that's a really great option for
scares the crap out of me.
Oh, I get it. Same thing with Neighbors, though. I'm terrified of Neighbors. Giants. I'm scared of playing a Giant.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to find ways to play as like no Giants if possible, as little Giants as possible is kind of my goal here.
That was a good movie.
We're setting it.
It's been a minute.
We're setting another of Daniel's lineups. Do you see why Daniel had to wait? Those of you who were brave enough to stick this out.
All right.
Because I saw what he was doing.
Jones and Tracy.
Which Jones is this? Aaron Jones, I assume?
Yeah.
I have to go look. That's a lot of garbage.
Then Collins and Brown. Tight end would be Ferguson. And then I would go Judy, BTJ. Wait.
I'm going to play as my running backs. I'm going to play Jones and Jonathan Taylor. I know how much you don't want to play Jonathan Taylor, but I'm going to hold my nose and do it.
All right.
And then it's going to be Nico.
Yep.
AJ Brown.
Yep.
As my 2, and then
tight end.
My tight ends is going to be the same thing.
Yeah.
I have Otten. It's going to be Otten by 1 spot. That's the Spider-Man.
Flip a coin.
Yep. And then then it gets interesting. The flexes are going to be Judy.
You doing London or BTJ?
I don't like any of it. I don't want to play either.
I don't like it.
Tillman.
Yes.
It's going to be London as much as I don't want to do it. That's what it's going to be.
It's a flex. I've had one that I swung for the fence with BTJ.
Okay.
So.
I'm going to play. You know how I am. I tend to just want my points, especially in a playoff game.
Take my points, go home.
Take my points and go home is usually the right answer. Okay.
Brown, Williams.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Yes, that's got to be what you do here. There's no other choice. There's no other realistic choice.
Amon-Ra.
Ra.
Okay. Then it gets
Interesting, doesn't it?
Yeah. Evans.
I'm probably gonna play London.
Okay.
I don't. It's process of elimination. I don't want to play Neighbors because it's the quarterback. I don't want to play Flowers because they're gonna win that game on the ground. I don't really want to play Evans because he's hurt. By process of elimination, the only one left healthy is London in a good matchup.
Okay.
So I default myself to London literally by attrition.
And Joku or Janu?
Janu. It's just going to be Janu until it stops happening.
Okay. And then a flex.
Yeah, that's the one that's tough.
Is that Evans or are you going
It's
to
going to be
Stevenson?
Evans. No, it's going to be Evans.
Okay. Yeah. So we ended up at the same spot.
Okay. Pick 3 of these. McLaurin
Judy,
for sure.
McLaurin.
Yeah. Okay, we agree on the first 2. And then it gets tough. For me, it's going to be White. I reserve the right to change my answer based on practice reports.
Yeah.
If Irving is playing, it's not White, and I probably would play Dowdle, and that makes me want to blow my brains out, by the way. But it violates my never Rico Dowdle thing.
Yeah, you started 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago,
3 weeks ago. And 2 of those weeks I've been right. And the other one was a fluke. Stupid Cowboys.
Stupid dumb Cowboys.
They are stupid and dumb. They employ Mike McCarthy.
Right.
Hang on, I'm reading.
Okay.
Which is always dangerous. Me reading is always dangerous. Boom.
Oh gosh.
We will. Hey Justin, now I want pie. Every time. It's literally. He shows up on Sundays, and I see that logo every Sunday, and I'm like, damn it. It's 11 o'clock in the morning where I live, Justin, when I'm talking. No, I'm sorry. It's actually earlier than that. It's like 10 a.m. on a Sunday when you show up, and I see this thing, and I'm like, no, I want pie. Can't eat pie at 10 a.m., bro. I'm going to be diabetic because of you. I can't do that. So we will cover 2025 rookies. We do a whole thing for the draft. Every year, we do a whole draft thing. So we actually do like real draft shows. So we will cover them. It will be in April. It will be we do a draft live stream, and then a lot of years we do a draft recap show. So check that out because we will be covering rookies for Dynasty in 2025. We do that. We're not doing it tonight, but we will do it. I would play Charbonnet over DK. Correct. Absolutely, if Walker was ruled out. It's not actually that close.
Correct.
So if Walkman plays, do you play DK, Jaden Reed, or Keenan? Oh, God, you have the set of things I don't want to play. You have the whole set. How did you get them all? That's like Pokemon. Yeah, it is like Pokemon. It's straight up Pokemon over here of things I don't want. It's oh Lord. You got anything good in there?
Yeah, I got them all.
Put
the original 151.
Put that away. If you're gonna do that, I'm gonna go get my magic cards and I'm gonna bore everyone to tears. Oh, they are the old ones. Wow, those are the originals.
Yeah. Perfectly preserved.
That's pretty cool. How did those survive 2021?
I've held on to them.
No, I'm amazed you didn't sell them in 2021 though when the market went crazy.
Because
anyway, I look, Jason, I could do this. We've been doing this for 2 hours, and I could do this for another 2 hours, but I can't. I'm literally going to die. If we go down the Pokemon rabbit hole, I can't do this with you right now. Save that for the off season. We'll do that in a different day.
Getting a whole new set of audience with that one. Then we can go into Magic. I'm sure I have a deck around here somewhere.
Anyway, to answer your question, if Walker plays, I am gonna play DK Metcalf, and I hate it.
Yeah, it's really close with Allen.
I hate
but
it. I hate it all. But you're correct. That's what I'm gonna do. Apparently, while I had tunnel vision and we were going through this, this is what was happening in the chat.
Too late.
You can't. He has no way of knowing that when I'm doing that, I had to scroll all the way up. So I'm literally just looking at his questions. I'm not reading what's actually happening in the chat.
Yeah, that's fair.
This continues. Check it out, Justin. It's usually pretty popular. Daniel, you got your answers, buddy. They're all on here, and there is a recap of this show.
Well, and you can get other people's answers from
That
the
is true.
Discord.
You
I'm
will
sure
get
Mike
other people's
and Steve
answers.
will both hop on and
Yeah, you will get other people's answers as well. But we did answer them, as I promised you. We would answer all of your questions. We always do.
you know what they want now.
Well, hang on. There's still
there's more questions.
There's still other stuff in here. I'm amazed people have hung out this long. Should you drop any of this for downs? There's no universe where I'm dropping Zach Charbonnet.
No.
I could be convinced to cut Keenan Allen for downs potentially. That would be the one thing that I would consider. But to be honest with you, I'm fine with leaving Downs on the waiver wire.
Let's see. Wide receiver.
I have Downs at 71 because I need to see him actually
do something.
Get cleared physically to play. Log a couple practices and then I'll move him up for the weekend.
Colts get Broncos, Titans, Giants.
Yeah, I don't like a lot of that. I could also be convinced to cut Jaden Reed for Downs just because I have to imagine the frustration level with that is at an all-time high. And if you just wanted to be done with it, I wouldn't blame you. Because you're in the playoffs, and I could see a universe where people are like, well, I'm never going to play him again because of what he just did to me. So if that's the case, then just cut him and just be done with it. But there's no way that I'm going to cut DK or Zach Charbonnet. Somebody beat him to it. Doesn't matter. That happens.
You didn't want it anyway.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Shakir.
Whoa.
This is a real question.
It's gonna be Shakir.
Yeah, Shakir.
Thanks for coming in, Justin. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Justin's here. We're back to the pie. Starting Cook and Mixon as your RBs, and Jennings is one of my flexes. Charb is on the bench. If Walker doesn't play, would you switch anything around? That's a real good question, actually. Where do I have Mixon rated?
Sorry, Cook, Mixon.
That's a good question from the Talking Pie.
If it is any...
For the record, Justin, I'm sure you're not a Talking Pie, but I imagine you to be a Talking Pie in my head. So we're clear.
If it's any kind of PPR, I think I might play him over Cook. I'm trying to think of who against the Lions.
I have Cook at 19. And then I have Mixon. Mixon is so hard to sit. Yeah, I had to look. Mixon I have at 4. There's no universe where I'm sitting Mixon.
Correct.
He's been incredible.
If anybody is going to be
He's been incredible. Yeah, all season he's been incredible. And then Jennings is really hard to sit right now.
Yes.
You're fine. We assume it's full PPR unless if people don't say anything, we assume it's full PPR. Most people play PPR at this point.
I always make the note.
What's the rest of your team? Because I don't really want to sit anything that I'd consider sitting Cook, but that's not a guarantee. What's the rest of it?
Well, based on who he drafted, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he has Chase. And then, because he got Cook in the second, right? Mixon was probably a 4th. So what wide receiver would be in the 3rd? Maybe Puka? Is that 3 or is that 2?
I don't know. I'm gonna let him type. Uh, yeah. See, like
Yeah.
it's not crazy. Like it's not crazy. He is the wide receiver 1 in Indy, technically speaking. And the Titans are old and can't cover. So all of that is factually correct. Waddle has been killing it for the last couple weeks, but to be honest with you, I haven't totally forgotten what he did to people
Yeah.
before that, and I'm not totally sold on the idea. You are objectively correct that
It's
he
also a
has
really
had
good matchup because now they're getting from
two of
a
two of the
zone from a
two of the
zone
last
to
3 weeks. Waddle has been good.
yeah.
So I acknowledge what you're getting at there. And he does have a decent matchup this week, but just to put a fine point on it, I have Waddle at 30 this week, so I would consider like he is a flex. I would consider him to be a flex, but I would rather just deal with Shakir because the range of outcomes is so much more narrow that I'd rather deal with that. I'd rather just deal with that for the playoffs. I don't unless I need to chase some serious upside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Straight up.
It's also the fact that we think the Bills Lions game is going to be a race.
And it's going to be a points festival.
Yeah.
It's going to be something I want as much exposure to.
The 53.5 over under is too low.
What's your worry about Shakir this week? As it relates to Detroit, spell it out. What's the actual issue? Is it just the fact that their defense is good? Because I mean, I get the general idea. Their defense is good. Like, we'll see what he responds to with that. Go back to this. Should you keep Olave?
At this
Yeah,
point,
I
you're
think
probably
at
not
this
going to use
point you
him.
can just be done, especially with the quarterback situation. I would rather have just about any of this over Olave at this point.
Yeah.
And if this is related to your other question about this, is there
Yes.
anything that you would want
That,
here?
but Downs is gone.
Yeah,
So.
but I know, but instead of Downs, would you rather have any of this?
Nah, probably not.
There's nothing that immediately jumps off the page at me. Debo, I'm not interested in. Moore, I'm not interested in with Tillman coming back. Douglas is interesting, but it's not consistent enough. And Vele is good, but then Vele just crippled a whole bunch of people after really getting their hopes up. So I would probably just stick with what I have, to be
And to be
honest
fair,
with you.
that wasn't really Vele's fault.
Yeah, it
was
wasn't.
the
It
coaching
wasn't.
staff.
It wasn't, but it nets to the same.
Yeah, I know. It's just
It nets out.
him going from an 80% snap rate to 30 was not ideal.
This is the rest of his team.
Love, Mixon,
Wow.
Cook,
Yeah, there's
Garrett, Wilson.
nothing.
Oh, I'm in raw.
There's nothing on this team I want to cut, really.
Yeah.
And this is why.
That makes sense.
There's really like the only thing that I would consider is I would wait until the weekend and I would consider sitting Cook for Charbonnet. I'd consider it if Walker
Also,
was out.
Jennings needs to be out of your flex and in your wide receiver.
Yes, if you're going to do this, you have to put Jennings in as a wide receiver. That is how that needs to work on your team. Do not screw yourself.
Thursday.
Do not screw yourself because it is a Thursday game. I know I've done it before. It's easy to do. It's easier to do than people think.
Really limits you.
Yes, it does. It makes it really hard to. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Spin the wheel.
Should I keep Olave? No, they keep asking questions. They keep asking questions.
Drop him.
I don't.
You're not gonna play him.
Yeah, just cut Olave. Just cut Olave. You don't need it. You don't. There's no reason to hold on to that. I don't know. They played pretty good last week. Yeah, I get it. I get it. He's gonna get treated like the one cover. He's gonna get the one coverage. I understand.
Think over Cooper?
Yeah, because what has
Okay.
Cooper done the last few weeks?
He just
Except
put
for
up
look old.
60 yards or something, right? I know it's not a whole lot, but he's at least once.
The best thing Amari Cooper has done in the last half a season is pitching the ball back to Josh Allen as Josh Allen runs in and scores and gets a passing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. Stat of the year. Stat of the year, as far as I'm concerned. It was my favorite stat. It was great. Win your bar bets. But yeah, no, I understand. I understand the concern. It doesn't really change my opinion,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. I'm sticking to my guns on this one. You are welcome. And again, I imagine you in my head as a talking pie. I know you're not, but in my head. And yes, don't accidentally screw yourself.
I noticed it. If it makes you feel any better, so
I get it. I get it. It's a good matchup for Waddle, and in 2 of the last 3 weeks, he's been successful. So you could very easily make the argument for Waddle over Shakir based on matchup and based on recent track record. I'm just gun shy about Waddle. It just scares me.
We've been burned too many times here.
But yeah, like the Waddle and me have this like abusive ex thing going on, where it's like, no, you're hurting me. No, I have to get away from you. Oh, okay, no. And then he shows up at my house with a boombox in the rain, and then we get back together because he swears he's changed, and then ow, you're hurting me, and then we have to get divorced, like, and then I've got he's get like, I've got full custody, like it's this abusive relationship. It's like a Lifetime movie. Like I feel like that is my relationship with Waddle. Is I want to trust you and I want to get into a relationship with you, but every time I do, I catch you at the strip club. And it's like I can't trust you. Like you say the right things, but then you screw me. And I just can't trust you. And this is my whole thing, Justin. I don't like playing like this in the playoffs. I don't like dealing with weird, inconsistent BS in the playoffs. Like, if I can avoid it. But I understand your logic, and you're not wrong. 2 out of the last 3 weeks, he's been good, and he has a great matchup. And it just scares me. And normally, I'm not a coward like that. That's his shtick.
That's me.
Yeah.
Except for I'm also the crazy one who goes, "Yeah, let's play."
Yeah. You don't make any sense. Like, it's weirdly conservative until we're talking about Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
And Nick Westbrook-Akine.
We all made the playoffs, Glitchy. I've made the playoffs in every league I played in this year except one. And that was BS. Because I was the 3rd high point total in that league and I missed the playoffs. Hate that. Drove me nuts. Stupid T. Higgins. I love you, T, but get out of Cincinnati. Get out of Cincinnati, T. They don't deserve you. T. Higgins absolutely screwed me in the last week. And I shouldn't even have been dealing with that crap. Not bitter at all. That's the league where I've been to the title game 3 years in a row. Going into that, I missed the playoffs this year, despite having the 3rd highest point scored. Madness, I tell you.
Nope, this is my year off because of injury. Really just ruined me. I was only in 2 leagues, so it was pretty low for me.
It's true. Daniel is lovable. We do know this. Daniel is lovable. That's true. It's true.
It's really people are waiting for the wheel.
They might be. They might be.
They want the commercial.
You are welcome, Daniel.
Happy to help, Daniel.
Show starts at 7 Mountain.
8 Central, 9 Pacific.
Yep.
Wait.
No, you did that wrong. Yeah, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
6 Pacific.
You're going to have to work pretty hard to find something that isn't Jonnu Smith that I'm going to play. I'm just going to keep playing Jonnu Smith until it stops happening. That's my answer.
It almost happened this past week.
Doesn't matter. Still happened. Doesn't matter. Technicality. Points were scored. They were on the board. I don't care. I'm not discussing that. We're moving on. It's rough. It is rough. That's a legitimate decision.
Yeah.
And yes, a lot of people are learning to hate Waddle, and it's not. Yeah, a lot of people hate Waddle. Yeah,
It's
and
really
this
not
is
even his fault.
it's not his fault. It's not his fault. It's not like he suddenly forgot how to play football. Yep. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. That could be
It's just
very annoying.
he is so good at blocking and like doing all the little things right. He just can't get in the targets.
Well,
That,
he's also been hurt again. That's very annoying.
oh, yeah.
Uh,
Waddle doesn't even have that excuse.
I mean, at this point, we might get there glitchy. Uh,
Dude, it's no. Our
Walter?
longest stream. This isn't even touching it.
No,
yet.
not even close. We were out till midnight earlier this year. It was annoying.
The day Neil's like, "Oh, we're gonna have a short show. I don't feel good." 5 hours later.
That show was brought to you by Dayquil. The Dayquil started kicking in. Not a sponsor, just a hell of a product. Just a hell of a product right there. Let's just say I didn't necessarily follow the recommended dosing on that, and I kind of just because
I have
I was
insomnia, so.
literally dying, and whatever that crap they put in there, I was so wired halfway through that show that I was like I could feel my individual teeth. Like it was like that kind of thing. Normally you got to pay good money to get high like that. It's that kind of deal where it's like, yeah, don't first of all, kids, don't do drugs. Second of all, don't abuse Dayquil. Don't do any of that. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, I want my wide receiver blocking. What is
wide
I don't
receiver
know.
too?
What is Walter picks? I don't know what that means.
I'm assuming. I know that there's somebody.
That's rare that you could stump me.
No, I think it's a ratings thing. I don't know what Walter Picks is, but I know he has a.
I know what Walter Football is.
Oh, is that what it is?
Well, there's literally something called Walter Picks, which is apparently a fantasy and betting insights app that I have never seen in my entire life.
Oh, it's from Walter Football.
Is it from Walter Football? That would make sense, logically. I have never used this. I am familiar with Walter Football. I am not familiar. I absolutely do not understand. Don't know this app. Well, something to look into for the off season for me. Well, we always check out the new stuff. You know what I mean? We check out the new stuff. We played Reality Sports Online, for God's sake. We still do, technically.
Yeah.
We did Guillotine. We did Vampire. Like, we always check out the new thing. I've just never heard of this. I learned something today. That there's a Walter Picks, and we should look at it. It actually looks pretty good. I don't know, Daniel. I'll let you know.
Do Walter?
I think he says he wants to move their league to Walter Picks. That's how I'm understanding.
Okay. I mean, yeah, we can look at it.
We'll look into it.
Well, and you're in the Discord, so you can just.
Yeah, as I say, we'll look into this.
Yeah.
I'll see if Steve has seen it as well, because I'm going to talk to Steve here in next week anyway. So I'll see if Steve knows anything about that. That's a good one. I didn't know Walter Football made an app.
Good for him.
Apparently it's all over TikTok, which would explain why I've never heard of it, because I don't do TikTok.
I do, but my stuff isn't.
So you play 2 games each week. Yeah, okay. So it's the dual scoring thing. I'm familiar with that. So I am a big fan of the dual scoring record thing. It's much more fair. Much more fair. Because it eliminates the idea that your team could score 170 points and you lose because you played the guy with the highest point total. So you get Willy Wonka. You lose. Good day. You get nothing. Like, you eliminate that, and I don't care who you are. That feels bad. And that is people's number one complaint about fantasy. That's that I scored 170 points and I lost because I have really shitty luck. Forgive my language. And this eliminates that. And I really recommend that scoring system. So if this uses that scoring system and makes it convenient to do, I might be hopping on the bandwagon for this if it does that. Because I'm a big proponent of using that scoring system. We've adopted it in a couple leagues I play in, and I think it is infinitely more fair.
Yeah, infinitely. Especially when it comes to the 6th position in playoffs.
Yes. Yes.
Like that should be the highest point totals if they're not already in the playoffs.
Right. And that way it eliminates somebody who scores like 2,000 points and then they just got really terrible luck and then they miss the playoffs because of it, because that sucks always. So this is a much more fair way to work. And I would, and it does the scoring. So no. I get it. You win, but you finish in 8th, you go 1-1. I like that a lot. I think it's very fair. And I've played in leagues that do this. And I actually recommend that idea to people. Because I swear to you, the number one complaint I get about fantasy when talking to people is, oh, I hate fantasy because my team scores 1 billion points and I lose anyway. And then I feel bad about it. And I'm like, yeah, that would be something to feel bad about. So it's one of those type of situations. So I absolutely recommend this. It eliminates a lot of the luck element. And some people don't like that. And I feel like those people should just go buy lottery tickets then. Because clearly they're the lucky ducks that end up on the other side of that transaction. Everything. All of it. I think he means, who do you guys who do you guys got, Lions or Bills? Oh, I'll take the Lions until they stop doing it.
Yeah. It's the
And
Lions.
it's
I
at
mean,
home.
Bills
And it's at home.
just lost a heartbreaker, man.
Yeah.
That's...
No, I'll take the Lions because the Dan Campbell FU tour is coming to your city where he runs up the score on you. I am contractually obligated to that. I'm not allowed to talk about things, so we have to be team players here. And
Ballpark Franks. Ballpark Franks.
they keep asking questions, Jason, and these are your people, so you tell them to stop.
I know, I'm
okay?
so hungry.
I know, I am too. I really want dinner. I do watch a little bit of college football, and I think it should be Hunter. But that opinion is heavily biased because I live in Colorado.
Okay.
And he plays 2 positions.
That's, yeah.
And
that.
And that makes me smile because no one does that. No one has done that since I was a child. No, a literal child. Like,
well, the fact that, I don't know, Janty sit like 8 quarters and was still almost able to beat the all-time rushing record.
That would be okay. That would be the other one if you're gonna do that.
Yeah, that is.
Cut Mooney Reader Downs. Reed.
Yeah. I'd rather wait and see this week, but
yeah, if I have to do it tonight, it's gonna be Reed, and I agree. If I could wait a week, I'd like to.
Derek or Hunter?
I'm assuming it's Derek.
How long is his contract? 2 more years?
I think it's 2 more years. Sorry.
So I'd probably have him. Well, I guess you're wanting a price, not a.
Well, long term, he's a low end RB1, but you've only got about 2 more years of tread on the tires. So
now's your time to trade him.
Now's your time to trade him
to somebody who's looking for a championship.
Looking to win now.
Yep.
It depends on what I want. Do I want players or picks? That's my question back to you, Justin. Yes. What do you want?
Both.
Yeah. Do you want players or picks more? Because if somebody wants to offer me a
Chase Brown and
no, I'm gonna do this differently.
Okay.
so you keep going while I look this up.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking at a younger running back. So I was trying to think off the top of my head, and Chase Brown was the first one that I could think of. A Bijan, maybe. That one's going to be probably harder to get just because he had a really good year this year. But I think Henry's kind of just been a better back. Anybody else?
So what I would take,
first.
If you could get, basically by my math, I have a table for this that I had to go consult. Based on that, I would say that Derrick Henry is worth the 1.1 next year. If somebody wants to offer me the 1.1, then that's what it is. In a non-super flex. If you want to give me the 1.2, I would accept it. If you want to give me the 1.3, I would accept it. Anything outside of that, I'm not interested. You're going to have to give me more. So if someone wants to give me a first round pick, it's got to be a top 3. And then I'll do it for a top 3 pick straight up. And that's what I'll do. So it's got to be a top 3 pick. If they want to give me a 2026 pick, it's got to be a top 3 pick, and then you're giving me a player. Or you're going to give me a you're going to have to give me your first and second round pick in 2026. I want both. And they better both be in the top 3. Otherwise, I'm not interested. If you want a player, you're talking about like Josh Allen. I would do Josh Allen straight up for Derrick Henry. I would also do it's weird to say this, but I would take Bucky Irving. Legitimately, I would take Bucky Irving for Derrick Henry straight up, and I know people would probably laugh, but that makes a lot of sense through the lens of Dynasty for what you're getting. What else would I take? Would you take Kyron? I'm scared of the knees.
Yeah. I'd be
I
more
would do
looking at,
Chase
like,
Brown.
Tracy.
I would
Yeah.
do Chase Brown. I would definitely do Chase Brown.
Chase Brown and Tracy are the two that I was kind of thinking you
I
need something else to go with it.
don't really. Well, no, Chase Brown I would do straight up. But I would not do Tyrell Tracy straight up. No way. And then at wide receiver, Pickens, Smith, Devonta Smith. You're in that neighborhood.
Ugh.
I know. I don't really want a wide receiver. I'm not saying T. Higgins. You're in that neighborhood. Rashee Rice, like you're in that neighborhood. BTJ, if someone's stupid and they're willing to overpay you a little bit, I would do that. I would definitely do that. People would probably look at me and be like, "What are you, stupid?" And I'd be like, "No, bro, it's Dynasty. It's Dynasty, bro. I'm trying to go young." JSN, I would take JSN straight up. So something like that. Neighborhood
Marvin
of
Harrison?
that. That terrifies me. And
Yeah,
I don't think people
I
would
figured
do it.
I wanted to touch it.
And I don't think people would do it. I don't think anybody would do it. I think people would be willing to go down with the ship on that.
Okay. I kind of figured, but I just thought I'd ask.
Homie, I would be pissed too. Like, I would do it too, especially if I was the commissioner.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least you made the playoff. Exactly. So sometimes you just have bad. At least you just have
Dude, that's me
bad
every
luck.
year. Yeah,
So he has Chase Brown and Rico Dowdle and Warren and Smith and BTJ. I'm literally just reading his lineups. So if that's the case, then I'm going to be honest with you. I want the 1.1 or the 1.2 or the 1.3. And I'm going to go draft myself another young running back. And then I'm going to literally going to go on a multi-year championship spree with this team because you have all the young guns. It might take another year for that team to fully come together, but at some point that team will be ridiculous. So
could you get Jaden Daniels, or is he too young?
I don't know if anybody's going to give me Jaden Daniels for that.
All right. I was just, again, I'm trying to figure out.
Jaden Daniels would be an acceptable choice, though. By the way, that would be acceptable. I would take Jaden Daniels if that was going to be the thing. I would also potentially accept Hurts. He's East Coast. We're not in the East Coast, Glitchy. That's on you, buddy. Nobody on this show is in the East Coast. And then he has Garrett Wilson. Damn, you have a good team. I like your team. I like your team. It's good. It's young. At some point, that team will be very good. You just have to be patient.
Sounds like you might need to go get Bo Nix.
That would be a lot cheaper.
Yeah, a lot easier to do with what he got.
Significantly cheaper. Okay. All right, Jason. Are you ready?
Let's do it. Best part
of the night. Are you ready, kids? I can't do any more than that, or it's a copyright strike.
This is the best. I love it.
I still maintain that this is the best thing we do, and people are haters.
Not close.
Hurts. I thought Iowa was Central Time.
It is.
Okay.
It's 11. I don't know what he. Unless did they not do daylight savings in Iowa?
I don't know. It's a good question. Hertz would be a good one. Like Hertz would be a good one.
Except for
You
he
could
has them.
you could upgrade at quarter. Oh, he already has them. That's true. Your whole team is nuts. Your whole team is nuts. Okay. Okay. All right. There we go. All right. Look, I'm done. I'm done with this. We're gonna do something here. You ready? You ready? You ready
Let's do
for
it.
it? Ready?
Spin the wheel, place a bet. It's time again for tight and roulette.
Presented by Ballpark Franks. They plump when you cook them. If the concept is no way to more sense for Ballpark Franks.
It is the best thing that we do. We're going to spin the wheel of tight ends because obviously tight end does not matter. And there you go. So with that, let's see who we get. Let's see who we get here. There's a lot of names on this week.
I'd play that.
You could definitely do worse than this. You could definitely do worse than this for sure.
A lot of bad options out there.
I have Ferguson at 15. He is a viable streaming option. Over the last few weeks, they've been getting better. I don't think Cooper Rush is obviously the answer to anybody's situation, but there you go.
For fantasy, it's not killing you.
But for fantasy, it's not killing you. He killed you that 1 week, the first week of Cooper Rush, but since then they've been figuring it out. So
Well, even then, that's because he was hurt.
yeah, that didn't help.
Nope.
Yeah, not with your wife's boyfriend's money. No chance. If you made it that far and you're still in the playoffs and you're considering that, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, he's had 3 weeks of double digits this year.
I am good. I am good if you want to play Hunter Henry.
Yep, like Hunter.
I prefer the
Ferguson.
Zach Ertzes of the world and Ferguson.
Whoa. Don't say Zach Ertz yet.
Well, I mean, it's just
He's on the wheel.
It's just an example.
Okay.
I prefer other things on the wheel, but I have him one spot behind Ferguson. So Hunter Henry is a quality streaming option this week. Just don't, as Jason pointed out earlier in the show, if anybody wasn't around, don't count on a touchdown because that ain't happening. But he will get a lot of targets and he will see play. Could do a lot worse than that. This was the flukiest thing I've ever seen in my entire life, and I refuse to believe that it's going to happen again.
He scored.
That's what I mean. Super fluke.
Well, and again, we touched on this. We're really worried that it's just going to be an A.J. Brown, Saquon
Barkley game. Yeah.
No.
Ram it down their throat with those
It's
two
all
players.
Pac-Man, man. They're just going to be...
Yeah, waka. Waka. I like the theory of Juwan Johnson, but in practicality, I had to move him down because he's hurt again, and his quarterback is likely going to be either Rattler or Hainer. Come on, Hainer! Let's go, Hainer!
No, but I really like Juwan. Was really high on him, and then...
It's not his fault, Jason.
I know. It's just
not his fault. But I don't see how you're going to recommend this to people.
Yeah, no. Not with the nonsense that's throwing the ball.
Yeah. The Saints need to just go home. They just get healthy.
The fact that they aren't already eliminated blows my mind.
Yeah, it's nuts. No.
Nope.
In a word.
Don't like it.
Not doing it. Not going to do it.
I mean, he did have a 17.1 right before the bye.
Yeah, I don't care. It's the one good game he had all year. Literally. That's not a joke. Like, that sounds like a flippant thing, and it kind of is, but it was the one good game he had all year. Was week 13. It was the only game he scored, and it was the only game that he saw like a reasonable amount of targets. And I'm not counting on that happening again. Same with this. No way. No chance am I playing Chig. No way.
Should be another good matchup. Not going to happen. Yes.
This is my stream of the week. If we were still doing streams of the week for tight end, this would be my stream of the week. Yes, I know he popped up on the injury report with a hamstring, but he gets every Wednesday off. They also had him listed as a rest day. If he doesn't
And they're coming
practice
off
the
a
rest
bye.
of the week, if he doesn't practice the rest of the week, I'll be a little more concerned. But Zach Ertz has been great, and I will keep starting him until he inevitably gets hurt. He's coming off 3 double-digit games in a row. He's scored 4 times this year. I'm good with it. Honestly, I think we could probably stop spinning at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
No, I'm not playing Cole Kmet.
the only thing might be Gray, but that's if you're real desperate.
Cole Kmet had a 0 last week. Remember people taking 0s that hurt people? That was one. Not interested. Not even close.
Pity City.
Speaking of things that I'm not interested in,
Nope.
Kyle Pitts is on his way to being the most hated player by the fantasy community, like, ever. Remember
Well,
how
he had that stretch run like right in the middle of the year, and then just.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. It's very, very maddening.
Well, maybe we'll get lucky, and he will.
I would
Join
be
the Chargers.
willing. I'd be willing to play Kate by the way. This week.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm okay with this. Don't expect the Kate Otten performances from when all their wide receivers were out, but he won't kill you. And then Jason's favorite player, Noah Gray, aka Gary Noah. Look at his name go. I'm not interested in this. You might be.
Yeah, it's fine. Again, it really
he had
comes
2
down.
good games all year, and that's got people all hot and bothered. And then the rest of the year, he's done nothing.
Well, I mean, he's just been getting 4 targets every. And it's 3. It's 3 good games, almost 4, where he has double-digit fantasy points.
I'm really just counting weeks 11 and 12. The 2 fluke games where he scored twice in both of them. And then the rest of it's just kind of meh. It's not really doing much for you. This has been Tight End.
Spin the wheel, place a bet. It's time again for Tight End Roulette.
Presented by Ballpark Frank. They plump when you cook them. If you contact with no way affiliated with Mark Sanchez or Ballpark Frank.
I want a hot dog real bad.
Justin, I see why you're looking at this because you missed the playoffs. I have a Dynasty League like that. I'm not angry about it at all. Went to the championship 3 years in a row and then missed the playoffs despite having the 3rd highest point total. Bullshit. Stupid T. Higgins. I love you, T, but you really screwed me. Really screwed me here, sir. Not even his fault. Stupid, crappy Bengals. Where is he? Justin, your Bengals team is deeply upsetting. I don't need to tell you that.
He's really good at blocking, though. It's just like Kittle.
I don't need to tell you that. You live it. But
It's
very
like
upsetting.
Kittle when Ayuk and Debo are both healthy, and now Jennings.
So yeah, he's got Hurts and Penix, Henry, Dowdle, Chase Brown. Yeah, I'm okay with this team.
Ford might actually be the one who sticks.
You got to get
around.
Amari Cooper off this team, and I would be also willing to get Henry off this team. And then I think I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm okay getting. I don't like Devontae Smith, but that's just a personal issue.
No, I like it. Overall, I like it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is going to conclude the best show we've ever done. Number 1.
I don't know, man. That
There
the
it is.
longest show is definitely. I feel like at a
That was
lot
our
of-
highest viewed show, and it set up a deeply distressing trend. That in fact, if we started this later and we just did it until midnight Pacific time, we would actually have a bigger audience. I genuinely think that might be real, and I'm not doing it. Not unless I'm
Big
raising the
baby.
Discord fees. Speaking of which, if you've hung out this long and are still watching this, sign up for our Discord because you're a real fan, so you might as well. Link in the description. We do stuff year round. We're doing Dynasty content for Justin. Literally just for him. No one else has asked. Oh no, wait, Angela asked.
Yeah.
We have to do that for Angela too. Damn. So yeah, we're doing draft coverage and rookie coverage. We used to do more of it, but we still do some.
Do we still have-
What?
I was trying to remember if we still have the Christmas shirts up.
Oh, I don't know. What I do know is this: is that tomorrow, in advance of the 49ers and Rams game, normally we do our start sit thing with Jason. Jason is MIA.
Sorry, guys.
He has to go do an adult grown up activity, by which I mean key party. At least that's what I think is going on. But
I'm not looking forward to this Christmas party whatsoever.
yeah, Jason has to go to his office Christmas party, kids. So Jason has to go to his mean old day job is making them go to the office Christmas party. So you
For
could see
4
by
hours.
you could see by the look on his face how excited he is to have to go do
4
this on Saturday.
hours.
So Jason will not be available to do that show. That show will still happen. Tentatively, it is going to be Steve Bonham who will be picking that up, who we all know and love, and he will be doing that more than likely. If for some reason Steve cannot do that show, because life does have a way of getting in the way, I have volunteered to be his backup. So we have a backup and then a backup to the backup. So that show is happening. I just don't know exactly who's going to be doing it. So it's one of the two of us will help out and we'll get that knocked out for you before kickoff. Don't you worry. We know it's playoff time and people want their questions answered. We understand. We get it. We're in the playoffs too, baby.
And some of the games, like specifically tomorrow, has some fantasy implications.
Oh yeah, people are still playing 49ers. They're wrong, but they're doing it. We listed the approved.
We said
We
Jennings
listed
and
the
Kittle.
approved 49ers. There's 2. 2.5 if you want to get cute with Purdy, but it's 2. And then and so yeah, that's gonna happen. And then tune in on Friday for Locked In as always. That's gonna happen as normal. A lot of interesting bets this week from what I was reading. And then Jason and I will be back on Sunday to do to get you ready for the first week of the playoffs and answer your last minute questions. I know Justin will be there.
With
Where are the rest of you?
Updates on actual practice.
Yeah,
reports all
and
that
show
stuff.
up. We'll actually have practice reports. And last week, I got to tell you, we got mobbed. Last week we got straight up mobbed. Y'all showed up in mass to that show. My
Well,
God,
You gotta love the last second injury reports.
that's part of it.
Yeah.
We had no joke 100 people in there asking questions simultaneously. And at one point, I was about to have to stop and write on there, "This is not Bleacher Nation. Stop pushing in the line. We will answer your question in the order that it was received. Stop pushing in the line. You're making me nuts." Because people don't want to wait patiently in line. They want to try and crawl all over each other. And I'm like, yo, but they don't know that there's 100 people in there literally trying to and there's 2 of us. There's literally 2 of us. There's 100 of you. For those of you who are old like me and remember The Simpsons, it's like the Miss Hoover episode where all the kids are standing around. It's the meme of all the kids standing around her in a circle, waving papers in her face, and she just has a panic attack and runs off. I was like, that's what that was like. Where it's like, y'all are all trying to ask these questions simultaneously. Get in line. I have a feeling that might happen again.
We'll see.
Well, so a lot of people got eliminated, unfortunately. So there might not be as many people. But I will tell you that first week of the playoffs, Jason, does tend to be busy. And then the second week is a little bit less busy for obvious reasons. And then championship week is basically just the people that
Just our normal 10 people that show up every day.
Well, it's all the people that sign up for our Discord because we've obviously got them all to the championship.
That's how that works.
That's exactly how that works. What else do you pay for? So there you go. Anything else to add, Jason? Final thoughts. Give me the Jerry Springer final thoughts here.
No, we're all good.
All right.
No missing guys tomorrow.
No Jerry Springer final thoughts. All right, cool. All right. Well, the mental health agency that I called at the beginning of the show for Jason should be literally showing up any minute now. And frankly, I don't even think he's going to fight them at this point. I think he's literally just going to go with them because that gets him off the hook for the Christmas party tomorrow.
Perfect.
So think it through. And we will see you tomorrow.
Do I have to say they're all weekend, or am I going to be
I don't know. That's on you, bro. How well are you going to answer their questions? You decide that. You determine that, not me.
I have to be out by Friday.
Oh, yeah. Friday. Well, while Jason figures out how long he wants to be in the mental health facility that I've already called for him, you'll find out on Sunday whether or not they release Jason. And until then, keep up the nonsense.
We'll see.